Hello, guys, gals, and non binary pals, and welcome to the Fae Realm. Sorry that we missed y'all last week. Everything crashed it on itself all at once, and that's just kind of the way that things go. But that gave Sam more time to think about horrible things to do to us. Over to you, Sam.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong
I
at all.
know I'm not.
We're gonna do a recap. Cal volunteered to do that recap 2 weeks ago, and then hopefully forgot about it. Yes. Okay. Great.
I
Sorry.
just saw them
I am
swear,
cruel.
so.
Uh, I had half an hour to remind you of that, and I didn't. Here we are.
Wow, Sam.
We had a full half hour where we were
Wow.
hanging out in the chat, and then
I
But
I do remember saying that I would do that.
We were
but don't
thinking
worry
about
about it.
we were thinking about recaps. We were doing vending machine lore.
Yes.
I'm
That's
so
true,
mad
there's
I
a lot
wasn't
of vending
recording,
machine
so
lore.
I miss the vending machine lore because I was away doing something.
I told you to start the recording early.
You did, and I was wrong not to. I should just start the record as soon as the stream, as soon as the call begins, so that I can get all of the deep lore.
But before we do the recap, I want to cold open on Abe, who was not here last week. Abe, the younger members of your team left your Wokeland safe house about 2 hours ago to go on a very easy job. A very simple, low stake or high stakes, low risk job. Walk in, walk out style mission where big obvious guns would be a liability, so you did not go along. That was 2 hours ago. It's a little bit before midnight now. I'm curious what Abe has been up to with his whole group away.
Well, with the whole group away and his use to them, well, yeah, it didn't sound like they needed him, right? So he's here doing what he came to do, right? So I think strewn across his desk at the safe house are basically just like I guess the cyberpunk equivalent of like the yellow pages. Oh, you see, the yellow pages were these books that we used to have shipped to us that contain the names and addresses and phone numbers of people before we had cellular phones. Anyways, I'd like to think that he secured like some sort of like mobile directory for residents of this particular region of the state of Silicon, and I guess highlighted or starred or whatever. There's a recurring name that, if there were a camera, the camera would zoom in and focus on, and that name is Estrella Aquino. Now, why he's looking for this Estrella will be something that we find out. But he's basically been devoting his resources to that, and obviously resupplying, purchasing ammo, cleaning his gun, playing with Remy.
You find that cleaning Remy playing with his gun. You find that the halcyon days of the Yellow Pages are long gone. It is diabolically difficult to track people down in this modern era. In part because while there is no privacy now, where everyone lives a public life on the nets and on the streets, one, they tend to do it under false names. Two, there is no one company that is publicly keeping that database and releasing it. Three, probably all of the major corpos have that database internally, right? So you are being tracked. Someone knows how to contact you, someone knows how to find you, but they're not making that information publicly available. So, you've been spending some time kind of downloading various different public databases, trying to stitch them together. Like, if you go to the G's, you find, like, lots of things very close to GlitchAngle, right? Like, people are using false names. Um, glitch Zodiac, I don't know, like, all kinds of things. That being said, as the drones are, like, landing outside on the street to deliver ammo for you to walk up and grab the ammo and bring it back down, presumably somewhere far enough away that it's not giving away your hideout's location. Um, as you are looking through this list of names, you found a couple names, a couple matches. You find a couple names that are similar. Maybe there was a misspelling somewhere. You find a couple of perhaps plausible aliases, pseudonyms. You'd have to spend more time narrowing it down to find the specific person who you're looking for when your pager starts beeping.
Okay. What's the message on the pager?
I don't know, Vale. What's the message on the pager?
Oh God, Vale's a baby. I don't think Vale would actually know the appropriate military code for like an emergency or the properly like emergency code. So I think it's a set of coordinates, and a and the message is just we might be screwed.
Okay. Are there Jesus Christ. Before the kiddos went off, did they let Abe know where they were gonna be?
Vale would have left you coordinates. They might be on a post-it note that is in a sealed envelope that says "open in case of emergency."
In case of lore going off, break glass.
Yeah.
Okay. So he does that. You know, I assume Abe gathers the coordinates to wherever the friends went off to.
You open the envelope. Inside the envelope, there's a smaller envelope. Inside the smaller envelope, there's like a dusting of some drug that you can't identify, but also a post-it note. And the post-it note has an address, and the address is for a hospital, a high-end clinic at the base of the Hills district.
All right. Well, in that case, he sighs. Abe does, and he gives Remy a little scritch. He starts getting loaded for bear, thinking that oh shit, if they're fucked, then, and they're reaching out to Abe. There's really only one thing Abe knows how to do, and that's to unfuck things with projectiles and other such nonsense. And before he goes, rifle slung on his back, pistol in, ammo magazines, and plated coat. He turns to Remy and goes, all right, Cat, just leave the light on for me. I don't plan on this taking very long at all.
All right, that's our session, everyone. See y'all next week. No, you load for bear. What I like about that sequence is you seem to be doing it with determination, but fairly slowly, just kind of gathering your things in a methodical rate. That will have no consequences whatsoever. I got a question, Abe. You make it out into the street. You're in the streets of Wokeland. The hills of what used to be called Berkeley are somewhat distant. How are you getting there?
Oh goodness. I mean, on the one hand, I think the logical thing would have been to furnish Abe with some sort of like dummy spoof mobile device that he could hail these ride shares, these robo taxis. I do think it is a little funnier if he just hoofs it, though, and he just starts jogging in the general direction of the Berkeley Hills.
I have a quick question.
Abe arrives next session.
Can Abe drive a vehicle, like a traditional vehicle?
Yes, unfortunately. Or, I mean, fortunately for whomever they were fighting. Here's a funny thing about fascism. Right? They don't really... Well, the funny thing about fascism, right? And if we want to go off camera, give me 2 hours just explain the military doctrine of the new United States. They're in a fucking shambles, right? Whereas the finest militaries and corporate security outfits of the world are using things like hover planes and anti-grav technology and all sorts. The U.S. Army's still using internal combustion engines, Jeeps, Humvees, shit like that. So he can drive a gas car or a Winnebago.
What I was contemplating is, because we did not take Ackroyd, the keys for Ackroyd might be in the cupboard next to Vale's stack of casserole Tupperware that needs to get returned next Sunday.
Okay. Well, in that case,
I will leave it up to you whether Abe would risk that as a move, but I don't think I have the keys on me since we deliberately did not take Ackroyd.
no. So he absolutely will, because I mean, if things are dire, like he might have to exfil you lot ASAP, right? And I don't think you can do that in a rideshare taxi. So, yeah, he's gonna chance it. He's gonna go ahead and go buy the casserole dishes, right? Give him a little whiff. Fucking kids, gotta clean up after themselves. And then he finds the keys. I'm assuming.
You find the keys. This is a shocking thing to anyone but you. Keys, physical keys, something that you insert into a car to make it turn on rather than a button that you would press, or even just using an app on your phone to make it show up. People don't think about what it would take to turn a car on, and you don't think about it from the opposite direction. The keys are natural in your hand as you go outside.
Well, before he
Fire
goes
up
outside,
Ackroyd. Yeah.
he does a little one of these in front of Remy. All right. Just hold down the shop while we're gone, okay, boy? We'll be back soon enough.
Yeah, by the time Remy has extended an arm to bat at the keys, you are out the door, loaded for bear. Which is good, because elsewhere in the city, things are getting deeply fucked. Cal, would you like to give us a flashback? A recap.
Sure, yeah. In the vein of the after action reports, this happens is a conversation between Eve and her mentor Lilith. Yeah. Probably over a drink several days later. So, it was a very difficult week. Well, okay, so I found books, which I did not expect to find, for a gentleman that is just so intriguing, and I appreciate the mystery. It's excellent. Anyway, he's a big reader, or was a big reader, and I figured, why not a book? He's older, used to having paper books, which I haven't seen one since I was home, honestly. Anyway, so I got him a book. Ray Bradbury, very nice. Fahrenheit 451, excellent book. I read it, unfortunately. I hope he doesn't mind. Anyway, got that book. Did a thing with Vale, who is really just... I love them. They also need to be better with their health. And I know I'm pushy and I get it, but what can I say? I'm their doctor, so I have to be pushy. Speaking of doctors, oh my god. A little bit of gossip. Don't tell anybody that I told you. But apparently there was a big explosion on a ship that was shipping prescription medication, and now there's going to be a huge shortage, so I had to steal some. And that was exciting. A friend of mine also needed scans, so we kind of weaseled our way into the clinic on the hills, the one at the bottom, the one with the excellent scans. Anyway, the equipment was fabulous, and there was an actual literal emergency, which I was not expecting. A young man looked like he had glass all over him, bleeding out. It was very dire. I went to go get a wheelchair for my friend, and of course, in disguise as a nurse. It was so weird. There was lingerie involved. That's a story for another time. Anyway, so I went to go get a wheelchair, and then this doctor, the head of surgery, obviously, he had on the shoes and the, belt and the, they try to be fashionable, but they really just aren't successful. Anyway, he said, I need you, since that's just a simple scan. There's an emergency. And I said, okay. And I followed him, and then I figured out a way to get out of it. I told him that I needed to decontaminate. And he said, well, of course. And I said, well, okay. And then I left and went to decontaminate and had a whole conversation with another nurse, sent that nurse to that room, did the scans. Then, you'll never believe this, we were almost out. and one of my team decided to stop and look at someone's name tag. Can you believe that? And then they locked all the doors. And that's where that conversation will end for now.
And we'll learn about the second half of that conversation, but Lilith will certainly buy you another drink to keep it going. And that's kind of the score of it. The situation in the Airsets Blue Surgery Clinic at the edge of the hills has gotten messy. Waiting for you all, just down the street, is a top-tier subscription drive-on cyber sedan, ready to whisk you to safety. If only Lore weren't trapped in a hospital where all the doors just slammed and locked, alarms going off, gas pouring out of the vents. But the rest of you, you are outside. You've gotten the as-yet unanalyzed medical data about what glitch is. Admittedly, you don't have the bag full of pharmaceuticals that Laura's carrying. Several drugs, purloined with some intentionality, not just swept off the shelves, but picked based on a list. But the rest of the three of you, you could scooch away free and easy if you wanted to. And after all, you've abandoned Laura to her decisions before.
In fairness, we didn't get a choice last time. She went into a train and the train left.
That's fair. Glitch, Vale, and Eve. You are in the hallway outside of the surgery wing. There are other wings to this hospital not pictured. There is a clear line of sight to an exit that's not locked off. What are the three of you up to?
We're in the waiting room area.
You're in a hallway outside the waiting room, essentially. The door to the waiting room, the entire wing of the surgery, has been locked off. You can hear alarms inside. You heard the doors click locked.
I'm going to grab my pager and send a message to Lorelei that is basically, do you want us to get you out of there? Or should we leave? What is looking best from in there? In, like, Leet Speak shorthand.
Paging and Leet Speak. Excellent. Lore, you are inside. You are Dr. Larissa Nightingale. Gas is pouring from the ceiling. You will eventually have a chance to perhaps grab a gas mask, as you'd indicated, but before that happens, as it's getting into your nose, your mouth, even if you hold your breath, getting into the pores of your body, could you please roll me a physical saving throw? Because this gas is going on.
Fuck. Okay. Sam, how
Yes.
how do
I'll
I
tell
do
you.
that?
It's a 20-sided die. You're trying to roll higher than what your sheet says for a physical saving throw, which is
Okay.
on the front page near the middle somewhere.
Front page near the middle. Okay, and I'm trying.
It's
to get
it's underneath
higher?
skills.
And you're trying to get higher than the number or higher, to be clear.
Okay. Come on, you. Do. Please don't. Fuck me.
Tension builds for an extremely load-bearing roll.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. You are not dead. You are not incapacitated. It is not that fast. But as this gas is landing on you, you are feeling sleepy, drowsy, let's say. It's slowing down a little bit as you see people around you are grabbing gas masks, or if they haven't, you see them sort of settling into this calmness, slumping down. The nurse who is walking over here will kind of slump down onto the ground and just sort of begin to fall asleep. You've got a little bit more time. What you can see is the doctor in question, the doctor who seems to have called all this into being, is walking across the room towards the operating room that you all came out of just a few minutes ago.
Great.
It's you, Laura.
I would like to grab one of those gas masks.
Just walking to the... So you've seen that there are some here in this observation hub. Are you just walking up to it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a doctor here. I would kind of hopefully pretend like I'm supposed to do this kind of thing and get a gas mask.
Nice. You are a doctor here. I'm not going to make you roll a perform or a talk.
God.
Everyone's a little bit sleepy. You could just reach behind and get a gas mask on your face. as that's happening, you are getting the ping from outside asking for if they want you to do anything.
Sure.
Um, are you responding to that?
I will, after I like secure the gas mask and start like walking out of this area, I will pull out the pager and tell them to go.
Do you go?
I will.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I will read that message out loud and then look up and see the look on Eve's face. Right. How do we get her out of there?
I can unlock doors. I can't lock them today, but I can unlock doors. I just gotta be able to get into the system.
I'm gonna look around. I imagine there's security cameras around. Is there also like an access panel that they might be able to get into?
Yeah, so here's a funny thing. You can see that each of the parts of this hospital are segmented off from each other. So you can hear the sounds of security guard boots running up and down the hallway trying to figure out what's going on. But there is no security camera in this room because this room is sort of a null space between rings in this hallway because it's a null space between wings. The door is locked. You could jack into the door specifically. Other than that, and there's a couple of there's another door slightly down the hall from where you are. Other than that, there doesn't appear to be anything immediately at threat in this room, both watching you or attacking you or anything like that. Eve, then Vale, then DB.
Okay. I believe that door, and Eve will point to the door that's to the east of on the map. If we're doing never eat soggy waffles, it's right there. I believe that door leads into a secondary waiting room near where the wheelchairs were. Maybe that one's more accessible to us. I think having looked at that map, Eve would probably know that is the door to unlock, that there is no other door that would block us from getting to lore if we unlock that one, just because they were over there and blocked that way. So I will indicate that to Vale. Can you unlock it?
I can try. It just means one of you has to be on alert, because I definitely holds up pager. Told Abe to get here ASAP, just in case we needed backup.
Oh.
I don't think he's gonna come in guns blazing, but I would like his guns to be able to blaze if things go really south.
Okay.
Entirely valid. Also, we should tell Lorelai to make her way to that door so that she can dip out and we can close the door again very quickly.
Okay.
Very
On
good.
it.
So, Vale,
I will, if I can, I will send that message. Go to second waiting room near stretcher storage.
Nice. The message is sent. Vale, you're going towards that door, I assume. What are you up to right now, Glitch? Where are you mentally right now, Glitch? Let's start with that, actually. Like, you've just been procedured upon.
Oh.
It was not wholly invasive, but, like, you were scanned pretty intensely.
Yeah, it was
inside...
mostly, yeah. It was mostly not invasive, and I also had, like, people that I trust near me. So, no, I thought about it, and Glitch does trust them enough at least to tell them her real name, which is a huge point of trust when you're a Van Ness. And I think she's currently compartmentalizing and like there's all the questions that she has, all the things that she's thinking about with what did he find? What is on that data? What are we going to find when we dig into it? That is like clawing like little ferrets on the inside of a cage. But she is currently holding that thought away because one of her team members is still in danger. And she can't deal with that right now.
if there's one thing that's true of being a Van Ness, it's being able to suppress unpleasant truths, at least for the short term.
Yeah.
You push it down.
I can't do it long term, which is why I'm not currently living in the family home in the hills. But for right now.
Yeah, yeah. So, Vale, you're going over to the door. You know what I'm going to say. Roll dice about it. You are plugging in. And I guess before we roll dice about it, I'm going to tell you some things. Move your token over to where you want to be, and I'll reveal some stuff. Bing.
Bing.
I will
yeah.
say that I'm gonna. I don't know if this is like a clear door, like a glass door or has any sort of glass paneling. I will try to stay slightly out of immediate line of sight, but I do want to try to get eyes in to like glance up into corners for cameras.
Oh, sure. We're going to make it one of those like I think this is like a dentist office door where it's like the very scuzzy glass that you can't really see through, but like opaque is the word I'm looking for.
I was gonna say, I guess this is a fancy hospital for fancy people, so everything's probably like frosted and slightly more decorative, but also providing more privacy. So
frosted,
great.
yes. Thank you for providing words. It's very. I don't know if this is something that Vale would think of, but like the frosted glass is very shoot throughable. If that was a thing that you needed to do. It is locked, but it is, you could come out the hard way if you needed to. You just start doing it the easy way. And as always, the transition between the real world, the clean hospital vibes, and the cyber world is a little jarring because you find yourself standing outside the wrought iron gates of a Gothic castle turned plague hospital. That's right. You can see off to the side places where bodies have been stacked, flies buzzing around them. The gate is standing in for the door. Crows are standing inside for the cameras that would be watching. But that's not the problem right now. The problem right now is the gate that you are standing in front of. Huge, tall, spiked on the top, slightly corroded. In this idiom, how are we making it through the gate?
Of course, I will reach up into the beak of my plague doctor mask that is on my raccoon. And from there, as is tradition in plague times where they store all of their supplies for treating the plague victims, I will reach up and pull out I think the flavor here is I think it's going to be a bunch of little packets of like herbs and like a mortar and pestle that I'm going to start throwing in and start grinding up and basically doing alchemy to create something corrosive that I can use to melt open the lock on this gate.
Yeah, absolutely. Little puffs of green and purple smoke come out of it. The idiom is very prepared for this approach. You know that hacking here is hard. This doesn't seem quite as hard as that console that you were at moments ago, but do please give me the intelligence and programming roll.
Yeah. I'm just double checking my modifiers because it's intelligence and program and do I get what? No, that's just hacker. I'm just double checking if I have a +2 or a +3 because I never quite remember.
Yeah.
We're gonna roll it as a +2 because I think that's what it is. That's a 9.
That's okay. So it's worth discovering if you have a +2 or a +3 because a 9 is not quite sufficient.
I have a +1 int. I have a +1 program, and I thought last time we figured out that I had
This would be from from the verb itself. Some verbs are easier to do.
That's what it is. Okay, I was like, there's something else. And I have a +1 from unlock, so it is actually a +3.
Boom. Okay.
So
Due to the simplicity of this task, you are able to the relative simplicity of unlocking doors. You throw your acid powder at the gate, and it begins corroding down in front of you. That's the good news. The bad news is from the node past. From the central hub of this area, a whole ass gargoyle is disengaging from the side of the wall and swooping down towards you. We will learn about that in a moment, though, because I want to swing back around to Lore. Lore, you've got a gas mask on. This guy has made it into the operating room. What are you doing?
Did I get the message from Eve to go to the second? Okay.
You did, unless you have some reason not to.
No, I'm gonna start heading that direction. Trying not to look like I'm rushing, just kind of trying to... Are the other doctors and people... Does it look like they're looking for somebody kind of situation to see what is happening?
Not yet. At the present moment, it's still too soon for anyone to be alerted to a specific. You can see that, again, several of the farther away nurses have slumped to the ground. You really have no sense of what's happened to the kid who's filled with glass.
Oh, that's great.
Presumably he was already asleep. He can't get more sleep.
Sure. Then I'm going to make my way to that other waiting room. I am going to send a message to, like, I think Eve at this point, just going, don't open the door. There's a gas in here that's causing people to fall asleep. And is it affecting me with, like, touching any of my skin still?
Yeah, so, like, it's slowed down a bit because you've got the gas mask on. That's helping. But you still... I'm not going to make you roll every moment, but if you stay in here for too long, you're still rolling.
Okay.
Couple of things worth mentioning, just real quick, as you're making your way across the room. Number one, that older doctor, the head of surgery with the shoes and the belt and the he has not put on a gas mask, and he seems to be doing just fine. He's gone into the operating room from the area you're walking. You've got a pretty actually good line of sight to him as he sits down at that console and starts looking at it. And through these sort of amplified, you've got the gas mask, it's kind of like a whole face structure. You're hearing sound from outside sort of echoed weirdly, but the voice is amplified. Through that, you hear pretty clearly the voice of that doctor say, well, I'll be damned. The missing beta. He'll pause for a moment, and then he'll say, less inwardly, more to the security guard out over here, get a Kaisadine on the line, Dr. Nguyen, and scramble the CASRA. We don't want this Gwen X. We don't want to lose track of her again. At this point, there is going to be more movement. The security guards will hop to it. Lore, what you doing?
Picking up the pace a little bit to get to the door a little quicker.
Right on.
Trying to still seem a little nonchalant, because I don't want them to go, oh, that person's running. Because I feel like with gas masks, but also with doctor scrubs, I'm looking more, still like other doctors, but even more covered with the face mask.
Your anonymity is preserved, and you slip around this corner just as the chief, the head of operation, walks out of the room. So you've turned the corner. He's scanning. He's not seeing you. You make it around the corner. You make it to the door. Give me one more saving throw. Why not?
Okay. Yeah.
Do we want to use the bit on this, or is it too early?
It's too early. If Lore
Okay.
dies, it's fine.
You're not gonna die. Don't worry. I've got a flashback ready.
Oh, one!
That's a big no from me, dog. That's a no.
This is the
wow.
time to use a nat 1, I guess.
I love this.
Ugh.
The dice tell the story.
Give
Truly.
me
Snaps.
the awesomeness.
Snaps to the gods of fate. Yes, absolutely. Laura, you walk around the corner. Those of you, Glitch and Eve, are you standing outside that opaque door, or where are the two of you in this moment?
I think I would want to be close to Vale just to keep an eye out so that if any security come on them. I mean, we're not far, but I'm like watching through the door, watching down the halls so that I can like do the tap, 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 tap to get out of cyberspace if needed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I'm
absolutely.
somewhere between the two doors. I don't want to be seen as a silhouette outside of the door, so I'm trying not to stand directly in front of it.
Nice, very good. So you can hear the sounds of footsteps coming. They're not close. Glitches. You look around the corner. You see Lore, a shape that must be Lore, walking down the hallway, and then just full on slump to the ground, maybe like 6 feet away from the waiting room door. This civilian's gone. Is unconscious. As Lore slumps, Vale, you're in the system. You've got this gargoyle swooping down at you. If you wanted to unplug here, you could before it gets a chance to attack you. If you want to stay in, you can do a thing, but you're going to be in the same node as a gargoyle.
And I'm assuming that I can tell that this is an avatar of some sort. This is like a security bot.
Yeah, you're at the level of expertise. You recognize that this is probably a demon, a non-controlled, just automated security bot in the system.
Great.
Which you avoided by going to a door that I didn't expect you to go to somehow.
Cool. I was prepared to have to stay in the system longer than I wanted to, but I may need to... You know what? If I need to plug back in, I know it's there, and I know it's watching for me. So if the door is unlocked... If I've successfully managed to unlock the door already, then I am just going to unlock the door and then I will unplug.
All right.
Yeah.
You have unplugged. The door will probably not stay unlocked for very long, but you've got it unlocked at the moment. You see Lore slumped on the inside.
I haven't gotten the message because I've been in the system, so I didn't hear anything about the gas. I think what GlitchAngle, I guess, sees is Vale with one hand like pops the cranial jack out, and with the other hand has like pulled something out of their pocket and like opens. Honestly, it probably looks like an Altoid tin. Flips it open. It is full of a bunch of pills and a couple little baggies of powder, but it also has what looks like old school business cards in it. Like, some are cardboard, some are plastic. There's probably a rolled up, like the equivalent of a rolled up dollar bill in there too. Gonna pull out one of these little plastic cards, whatever it is, and I'm gonna start using that and like wedging in. I'm doing the credit card trick that you would use to unlock a door. I'm trying to jam the door open because I know that if I'm out of the system, it's not gonna last. And as I do this, I will say, all right, we don't have a whole lot of time. There's the security system's onto me, so it's gonna try to lock everything down again. So we gotta go in.
We have even less time. There's gas on the other side.
Great, I'm gonna hold my breath. Here we go. And I'm gonna go to open the door unless somebody stops me.
No, I'm not going to. I'm just like preemptively get ready to hold my breath as soon as that door opens.
I will hold my breath and I'm gonna bust in the door.
Boom, you open the door. The gas is colorless, odorless. It's just the hissing. There is a very slight sort of like waviness in the air, almost like steam as you go into the room. I will have you, you're not going very far, actually. You're just going to grab Lore and pull her out, right?
Yeah.
That is the plan.
And I think with the three of us pulling.
You can move quickly enough that I'm not going to make you roll saving throws about it. I am going to roll something to see if that security guard rolls around the corner, though, just because. Let's try a 20-sided die.
Unless you fight me on it, Glitch, Vale would kind of shove you to the side, politely, basically it's the, like, you are my backup. I'm going to grab Lore, and you're here to grab her when I get to the door in case I go down. Knowing that you are the person who needs the most to not be seen here.
If I can, we would have taken that wheelchair out with us. Like, Glitch would have been in the wheelchair.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have rolled it in for us to get Lore into the wheelchair.
I love that. Yeah, you roll in the wheelchair. You slump Lore into the wheelchair. When I roll luck rolls for you, high is good for the party.
Okay, good.
So you've succeeded. This security guard will probably poke through this door, but by the time that he's done that, you are outside with the body in a wheelchair, seen through a plate of opaque glass. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Take my card, pull the door back so that it latches, because I can't relock the door right now. I don't have the lock procedure, but I know that Gargoyle's gonna try to.
Very good. So you're out. You're good. You've got Lore. You've got the drugs. You've got the information. Your drive-on is waiting down the street.
Let's go.
Abe is still probably some distance away, yeah.
You guys should take Lore and the drugs and get out of here. I'm gonna hunker down and hide and wait for Abe so I can intercept him before shit goes down.
Can we not message him?
We can message him too, but I still feel like we might want to split up so that we don't have the drugs and the information and you and Lore all in one place.
Okay, but you are information, darling. If they catch you,
They ain't never gonna get nothing. If they catch me, I take one of those pills and I know nothing. You think I don't have real life fail-safes too? Come on, I've been doing this forever.
I love you.
Yes.
Let's get out of here.
Yes, let's get Laura out of here.
Okay, so Lore and Eve and GlitchAngle together in the car. Vale will come back to you in a second. Those of you who are taking the car, fully self-driving, 3 seats facing 3 other seats. No obvious way to like take control of this car driving wise. This was a high-end subscription, so mood lighting, champagne, and rigorous self-cleaning protocols. And it is drifting down the road at a stately 30 miles per hour, never exceeding what Drive-On has arbitrarily set as the speed limit for this district. I want to get the sitch of like what the 3 of you, like what the conversation is, what the vibe is in the car as you're driving away.
How long does it take Laura to wake up?
Are you trying to wake Laura up?
I would assess Lore's vitals and make sure that she's still breathing and everything looks good, nothing is concerning.
Yeah, it's intelligence and heal.
Okay.
Or I suppose wisdom and heal if that's better for you.
It is. It really is. I don't know why, but Eve is not smart.
We'll use D&D rules where for some reason healing is a factor of wisdom rather than intelligence.
Okay, so that is... Seven.
7?
7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the good news is, even with a 7, you can tell that that she's fine. Like, she is not in present risk of dying or stopping breathing or anything like that. You're pretty sure that this is a knockout gas of some kind, though there are so many different sorts of knockout gas. You would need to have more equipment to be able to diagnose what particularly this is. That being said, gently slapping her in the face a couple of times does not seem to wake her up immediately.
Okay. 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 It's probably fine. It's fine. It's probably fine.
If it is something that is used in that particular clinic and there's even the slightest risk of a very rich client being caught in the crossfire, it won't be deadly. It'll just keep her asleep for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Okay.
If for no other reason, then some of the richer families could absolutely sue the corporation and at least get shut up money.
Yeah. Can I start to go through the bag that Lore had?
Absolutely.
And see if they're what kind of
Find a
did you
loot.
get everything that I asked for?
Lore has very competently gotten everything that you've asked for.
Yeah, amazing.
You have enough things to keep your particular client alive for a good long while, and also things to spare for other clients as needed. As you are making your way away at the stately, luxurious speed of the best vehicle that Drive-On could supply to its high-end subscribers, Vale, what's the play? You're still outside this sort of like nice clinic in the hills, 2- and 3-story manors stretching, dotting the countryside, dotting the hillside, looking down at you like yellow eyes through the fog.
Thanks, I hate it. specifically Vale hates it. It's too clean, it's too quiet. These people have too much money and not enough sense. And I think I am rapidly messaging Abe basically a new plan. It's like new plan, they're leaving, meet me. Do we still have street signs? Like, you know, like, is it like, can I like name an intersection? Like if I start walking down the hill, and when I say, well, I'm scurrying, I'm darting from shadow to shadow, it's the middle of the night, I'm doing my skeevy moves, but like I just want to get like a couple blocks away from the hospital, preferably somewhere near a main-ish road so that I can watch in case like police or emergency vehicles of any sort start arriving. And I'm just gonna be like, new plan, pick me up here, I'll fill you in.
Yeah. You can get a short distance away down towards. There are still street signs.
Okay.
They're kind of signifiers without significance anymore. Most people don't use them, but in a lot of cases they haven't been ripped up or anything.
Yeah. Vale doesn't use them. Vale navigates in a totally four-dimensional chess way. But Vale, I think, would know that Abe would understand street signs better than anything else.
Yeah, so you've just finished sending that message when glancing back towards the hospital, you can see not the place that you were in, but one of the other wings. The ceiling will open.
Nope.
And out of the ceiling will fly a CASRA. What's a CASRA? A CASRA is this is in my notes, close air support rotor ring aircraft. It will fly up and it will start moving in roughly the direction that your party left in.
Message to Eve. You're being followed. And message to Abe. Never mind original meetup. And I'm gonna run back to the building.
Music escalates. Yo, Eve. You have been told that you're being followed. You are sitting in a car that refuses to go faster than 30 miles an hour on surface streets, and 45 miles an hour tops when you get into the like actual freeways. It's late. There's not a lot of other cars on the road, but your car is matching pace with them because all of the cars on the road are cars that are owned by the same company.
I share that information with Glitch. We are apparently being followed. No way to tell. Everything's going the same speed.
If we're being followed, it won't be a vehicle on the road. It'll be some kind of drone.
Ugh.
And as you say that, you can see it on the horizon, clearing the buildings around you.
That one,
it is
actually.
a quad rotor aircraft large enough to seat several people on it. You can see that this aircraft, it's topped with a massive device like a megaphone and underslung with a nasty autogun. It is moving towards you. It is unclear how it knows what car to be following, but it is very clearly following your car.
Oh, I'm not at all surprised that it probably caught the license plate or the some kind of like ping device to say this is the car that just left, and so we are the strongest contenders for the person that we're looking for. Fuck. Am I able to access the any kind of control panel to give the car instructions of any variety?
Yeah, there is a control panel. Usually this would be used for like, we have arrived, want to keep being in this car, stick around. You used that a moment ago. To redirect it to a different destination. It is a subscription service. It's a premium to, redirect it around like that, but it's a self-driving car. You can make it do what you want to do.
Almost anything I want to do, because I can't make it go faster.
You can't make it go faster. You can make it dispense more champagne. Most self-driving cars have ads playing on the insides of the window periodically. This doesn't have that. That's nice.
That is nice. In my interestingly spent youth, was there ever anything that we did as teenagers to swap IDs with other self-driving vehicles?
Swap IDs. Tell me what you're pushing towards here. I'm not seeing it yet.
I'm trying to get them to get off of our vehicle and onto a different one and make it look like we like pulled a U and are going in a different direction.
Oh,
Basically,
yeah.
Like the modern equivalent would be swapping license plates, but on the move.
Yeah, I mean, so it would be wonderful. It would be fantastic. It would be sublime to have in your vehicle a hacker.
You know, they made a call, and I'm not saying it's a wrong call. It was a call that we have to deal with now.
Failing to have a hacker, right? Like, it would still be rough because you'd have to get into your car's system and then remotely connect to another vehicle. That happens with penalties. You'd have to be keeping pace with it. That part's easy. All the cars are moving at the same speed.
Right.
Like a bad, like SimCity 2000, like a bad simulation of traffic, right? Everything just scooting along. SimCity 2000 is not a bad simulation. It's fantastic.
I played a lot of that game when I was a kid.
Sorry, I distracted myself by telling a lie. But moving along, right? Like, so you could do that. The other option would be like physically getting into the guts of your car, ripping out a transponder, getting onto another car somehow and installing that transponder. That would be difficult. It's going to be more difficult because that helicopter is going to open fire on you now. That's happening. It's shooting you. That minigun is coming to life. I'm going to roll a d20. I'm going to add a number to it. We're going to see if it hits your car. This car is self-driven, so it's not particularly hard to hit. But yes, all right, an 8 will just hit. Minigun, the mounted auto gun will deal like a score, like the entire back of your car will be dented with bullets to the tune of 6, 7, 8 damage. Your car has armor. They make them like that. Your car will take 2 points of damage, and I'm going to move into a whole different thing here.
The fact that you had this ready.
You know, you gave me a whole extra week.
We did.
So,
What
in the
is
middle of this, I am going to display a quadcopter. Some distance away, I am going to display you. Those are tokens. I am going to make yours such that it is controllable by you. Hopefully that means you can see hit points above it now, but if not, I'll make that happen.
I can see it.
Okay, great. You have taken 2 hit points of damage. You have slightly less going on in your car now. Boom, bam. You could try to speed up if you could find a way to do that. Otherwise, this is probably going to catch up with you at some point. As this is happening, back around behind, having come down a different road, is another vehicle. So, having looped behind the helicopter, you can see it moving down what we would know as Highway 24, but with that, it's just another anonymous road in a series of tangled roads that make up this region. Abe, you've pulled up. You can see Vale hanging around a hospital. Alone.
Okay. Before we really get into it, though, we know Abe is a bit of a music aficionado, and he goes dumpster diving for cassettes and CDs and 8-tracks or whatever he can find. Oh, what is he playing right now? Just totally inappropriate for the mood. He's playing a little Captain Glenn Miller in his band. He's playing American Patrol, right?
Yeah,
That's very good.
You guys remember when we Americans used to fight against fascists? Neither do I. But anyways, yeah. So he's slapping big band apparently. And he immediately like pulls up to go and pick up Vale.
Vale, give us a sense of like what you're looking like as you've waited like several minutes for Abe to roll in next to this hospital, watching a helicopter fly away.
Oh, I don't know that I'm waiting next to the hospital if I've had several minutes. So obviously I'm wearing like under my scrubs, I was wearing probably like a black Under Armour shirt and my, like, honestly, like my big baggy cargo pants. Because scrubs are baggy enough that they would hide. There might be lingerie under there. We don't know. No one can tell with Vale.
We never will.
That's a callback. I think I have stripped off the scrubs because I want to look enough different from the person who was leaving. Because again, I know there were cameras and I know I was on some of them. Okay, I guess here's the question. I'm going to pose the question to the group. I know what I think Vale would do. It's really stupid. If you guys want me to take the more logical route and wait for Abe, I will. Otherwise, I'm going to follow Vale's impulse of doing the thing that's probably really stupid.
As Pixel Rose points out in the chat, Vale's pronouns are FA/FO. Do it. Do the thing.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Sam, but I'm also not sorry at all. In the middle of this increasingly tense moment, I would like to activate a very brief flashback.
Please do.
This is a flashback to a couple of days ago, somewhere in the midst of this, after the conversation that Vale had with Eve about taking better care of themselves. And this is Vale meeting up with, I don't think it was Declan this time, because Declan's already being a little shit about the Madeline. I think it's one of Declan's friends who is, like, willing to tolerate Vale in that, like, annoying younger sibling way. And I have hit them up to get some window.
Yeah. You want some window? Yeah. I got some window.
Yeah, don't worry
sure,
about it. Yeah,
sure.
no, I could definitely pay for it. So I just, I need like 3-4 of them, maybe. What you got?
He will set you up with as many windows as money can buy, however much you need.
Beautiful. Great. I will. I'm gonna say that I got 3. I'm gonna subtract that money from my stash.
Great. Please do also roll a d6 and take that much system strain for the flashback.
Great. 4.
Cool. This is going to be especially relevant because window is a drug that can increase your system strain as you use it, as you are literally burning through your body's resources, your brain's resources, trying to maximize how much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So with that having been established within flashback that I did find the time to purchase that, I'm gonna do the stupid thing. Vale's gonna run back for the building.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to get into, if it's not in the hospital, I'll look for something adjacent. I want to try to find, if I can though, I want to try to get into the hospital. I want to try to jack into whatever's controlling the drone.
Yeah.
I want to try to back end reroute the drone.
That's what we're talking about. And to be clear, there's 2 things in mind here. 1, it is piloted, but 2, it would also have an autopilot system. Yeah. So you can try to recall it from here, or
here's the
send
thing.
it off, or do something with it.
At the minimum, I want to fuck it up enough that maybe it like crashes or it's getting conflicting information. I do not have the drone piloting skill yet. Mm-hmm. That's why Reeves is also super automated, but I do know enough about hacking that I might be able to fuck some shit up. So that's the plan.
Right on. So you are, again, at this like multi-segmented, multi-winged clinic. It's pretty clear which one the CASRA came out of. The ceiling is still closing. There's a door. There are a couple of less bored now that there's action security guards standing at that door. That's the obvious way in.
That is the obvious way in. Two questions that will. 1, now that I've stripped off my scrubs and I am in like black cargo pants, black Doc Martens, black slicker, do I look like I could pass for like security or IT based on what the rest of these guys are wearing? Because if so, I'll go in the front. And if not, my second question is there a fucking air vent?
These 2 questions are similar. One is that the security guards are still wearing gas masks. They're wearing insignia that would make them clearly AirSat security. People wear uniforms in this corporate dystopian future. 2, there is an air vent. We know things about vents, so this is a risky proposition, but if that's the play.
Penalize me for this however you want. I'm gonna snort some coke, hold my breath, and dive into the air vents.
You know, there's not a lot of things in this day and age, in this dystopian future, that plastic business cards are used for. You found 2 uses in the course of the last hour. As
Opening
you snort
doors
some
and
coke and
closing
go
them.
into an event. Absolutely. Boom. Meanwhile, Abe, you've pulled up to what you thought was a rendezvous point, and there is no Vu to rendezvous with.
Okay. If it pleases the court, I would also like to interrupt this highly tense situation and take the attendant system strain in order to have a little mini flashback to when I was on my shopping spree, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that most of the things that I had purchased are pretty easily acquirable, but per the rules in the world building book, rocket launchers are a little harder to come by. So, because I am flush with cash, and in between me looking for this mystery name, I also wanted to find an arms dealer of some sort who deals with people like me, strictly off the grid.
People like you who are strictly off the grid, and also an off the grid conversation with you. Yeah. How are you going to try to find... I know this is just a flashback, so I don't want to belabor the point, but like,
Right.
What's Abe's way of like pounding the pavement to find someone who can sell him a rocket launcher? I almost don't want to ask that question. Like, if you've got a really good answer, I don't want to know it, or I don't want like kids who are watching this to know how to source a rocket launcher. But like in broad terms, how are you finding a rocket launcher?
If children are watching my stream, I've done this wrong.
Right. You remember that? You remember that train attendant from the first episode that we had, who shared? We all had a mutual acquaintance in the form of an ex-teacher / ROTC instructor of Abe's back when he was a kid.
That's right.
I feel like he's someone who might be in the know.
You follow a trail of breadcrumbs over the time, probably the week or so that led up to this mission. Well, between other things, following from one source to another, talking to someone, following a rumor, and eventually you find yourself in the dog patch, alone in a scrapyard. And there's a guy there who's selling some stuff. The name that's given to you is Flay Kemrit.
Ooh, alrighty.
And this guy Kemrit says to you, now, this is a rocket launcher. You know how to use this?
Do I know how to use this, son? Son, I was using ordnance like this since this dog patch was only a host to dog parks and goddamn food trucks, all right? So, yeah.
He will take your money, he will give you the rocket launcher, and he'll say, the fuck is a food truck?
Don't worry about it. But I'll be keeping your info. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me, I think, over the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, well, we're a little short on supply right now. This is my last rocket launcher, so try not to break it.
Yeah.
Point that end at the guy you don't like.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Flash back into the present. You are sitting in Ackroyd, and in the passenger seat. Where are you stashing this? Give me a mental image of where this rocket launcher is.
Well, so here's the thing. I actually wanted Reeves to ride shotgun with me, assuming in Vale's bag or something, because I've been making idle conversation with the Roomba this entire time. Of course, it doesn't remember when Americans fought fascism. It was manufactured like 5 years ago. Anyways, regardless, no, I'd like to think all my gear, right? The ammunition, the rifle, the heavy ordnance, all that good stuff, is in the back of the Winnebago, right next to the microwave and the secret stash of pornography. So yeah.
I knew I could trust you with my car.
That pause is for all of us to decide personally in each of our hearts whose secret stash of pornography it was.
The answer may surprise you or not. But
It's Reeves's. It's clearly Reeves's pornography.
Obviously, it's old tech magazines.
when Abe arrives,
Popular mechanics. It's just popular mechanics.
it's Scientific American. Does Abe arrive in time to see our raccoon friend dip into the air vent? Or
Yeah.
scurry
For
into
the-
the building?
For the sake of convenience, we're going to do full information here, right? So, like, you can see off to the side Vale slipping into a vent. You can see ahead of you the helicopter, the quadcopter, and ahead of that you can infer down the way must be the car that your companions are in.
Right, okay. So, I mean, he looks toward the hospital. He looks toward the flying drone, or rotary aircraft. He looks at his rocket launcher, knowing what he does about his companions and how they operate. He concludes that Vale's probably doing something really reckless and stupid, but also awesome, and probably doesn't need his old ass dragging them down. And he looks at the rocket launcher, right? And then he leans over to Reeves and he goes, "All right, buddy. I think it's time to make some fireworks. What say you?"
Beep boop.
Okay. And then he floors it in pursuit of the rotary aircraft and the drive-on vehicle.
All right, so we are in a three-way chase scene. So here's how this works. Normally, the thing that's being chased would set the pace of this chase scene. The thing that's being chased, you technically don't have full control over right now. So before we do any rolls about it, I want to swing back to the Glitch, Lore, Eve car. Lore, you did wake up as the bullets impacted the car. You are feeling drowsy. It's like when you take a nap that accidentally runs 2 hours, right? And you just kind of don't know what time zone, what century you're in. Maybe that's just a me experience.
No.
That's where you're at right now, Lore, as you hear the concussive sound of bullets hitting car.
I think
Hi.
Lore kind of jolts awake and like throws the gas mask off. And it looks like panicked. Like she doesn't really know where she is currently.
Hi, you're in a drive-on. There's a drone. We're being shot at, and Vale is in the hospital, and I don't know what's happening, and I can't make the car go faster.
Okay. We are in. What part of the city are we in? Again, are we still?
We are in. Great question. Sorry, let me switch this to here. You are in the area between the hills and Wokeland. I would imagine driving down here-ish. So in the area of like over M10, in the streets that don't actually deposit people in M10 because M10 is a closed district, but sort of run through it, over it. You can glance down at the apartments within.
Hey, Sam, can I do a thing with one of my focuses as I know a guy?
Yeah.
I would like to try and contact a person that might be able to help with the drive-on situation to make us go faster. Someone who might be able to remote control this bitch. I probably owe favors to a lot of people already, so
I love this game because I don't have to create solutions to problems. I was literally like, I have no idea how we're gonna get out of this. Yo, you know a guy in Drive On. You owe a favor to him?
sure. Whatever gender they are, it doesn't matter.
Cool. Just some corpo drone who watches the cars go. Probably his job is just to monitor like all of the feeds coming in, keep an eye on the safety. It's midnight. What's your pitch as you're calling up this guy?
I think she's the heart rate's up because there's been a lot of things that have happened and she just woke up kind of situation. So she calls him up and goes, "Hey, Kyle. It's Lore. It's been a while. I need a favor. I know I owe you already, but I can double it.
Lore. It's
Lorelei.
midnight. It's the middle. Lorelei. It's the middle of the night. It is midnight.
Yes.
You want me to do you a favor in my pajamas?
Yes. I will make it worth your while, honey.
As this is happening, I'm not gonna like do combat rounds in the middle of a conversation, but like bullets are spraying at your car down the road. He'll say, "Okay, all right. What favor do you need?"
Is there like a thing that tells me the number of our car?
Yeah, there is this small. You have to like pull up a cushion to see the serial number, but you can find it there.
All right. I need number 259802 to go a lot faster than what it's doing right now, sir.
Is this some Daredevil shit? Like, what, you want to impress your friends?
Yeah, you know me, always trying to impress people. But also, do you hear the tings? The ting 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 tings that's bouncing off the car? Yeah, that's
No.
bullets. And I need to
I don't really hear them.
Well, okay, that's fine. I can hear them. I need to go faster. Exponentially faster.
You hear the sound of a bed creaking, him getting up, moving to a computer console. Desperate seconds will pass. I want to look around to Glitch and Eve real quick as this conversation's happening. Anything that the two of you want to be up to?
I know nothing about technology. I think Eve is probably trying to open the glove compartment if there is one. It's probably not called that anymore. Just like looking for and frantically looking for anything that she can do to make the situation better.
You are correct. It is no longer called the glove compartment. It would probably be called the like champagne hutch.
Cute.
You open it up. You find champagne and condoms, right? Like that's what this car is used for in normal circumstances.
Do the windows go down?
The windows do go down. Yes, you can do that.
Can I roll the window down and throw the champagne?
At a helicopter. Or
Yeah.
And a drone. And a drone, in fairness.
Literally, Eve has no skills in this department. This is the only thing that she can do.
there is no throw skill in this game. I would say exert would probably be the default way of doing this.
Exert.
Unless you want to
Okay.
call this an attack roll. Is this more of a skill or an attack? Are you trying to deal damage to the helicopter?
Yes.
What's the outcome here? Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to like. I know it's a quadcopter, but I'm trying to like knock it around a little bit, get it off course, try to fuck with it somehow.
Okay, you are giving me a 20-sided roll.
Okay.
Just the same as whatever your unarmed combat would be.
Which is probably a 0.
I'd imagine
Hopefully.
it'll be on the combat tab.
Yeah, it's a 0.
Great.
I do. If I do damage, I do 1d2 minus 1 damage.
That'll be different in this case because you are throwing a handmade Molotov cocktail.
Oh, great. Oh, I could set it on fire. I didn't think about
And
that.
there's always the correct option, says the arsonist.
Oh man, Sam, you just gave me an idea.
Oh no, I've committed a crime.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna rip some of my clothing off. I don't know if it'll work. Stuff it in there. It is not probably gonna work. Light it with very fancy vintage Zippo and make it on fire and then throw it.
Yeah, you're thinking that as you're doing it.
I
Right?
got
This
it
isn't
too.
gonna work. This can't work. You rip off the clothes, you light the thing. This is just the Captain Kirk methodology of fighting, right? Where like the less clothes you have, the more effective you are.
Yes, exactly.
You got a 2.
Yeah,
you
I did.
throw it. It sort of unimpressively whizzes through the air. You've never tried this before. The helicopter is like, many dozens of feet up. It sort of crashes onto the road behind you. A drive-on the drive-on behind you's automatic sensors sort of steer it out of the way around the burning slick on the road that you have left behind. Glitch, you have a turn in here somewhere before I shoot you again, and then maybe DB's thing works out.
Okay. I would have driven in a lot of these before. This would have been like the primary method that me and my family would have used for getting pretty much anywhere, is in these kinds of self-driving vehicles. Is there anything that me and Bug would have worked out at some point to scramble the system so that our parents couldn't see where we were going, to go and, like, you know, drink in the backyard?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, so listen, the sensors, the controls, the computer that runs this thing, is internal, but you know where it lives in the machinery, right? Like, you know where it lives in the car. So if you wanted to, like, ripping out the transponder is kind of the easy part. It's what you would do with it next that becomes harder. If you want to rip out a transponder, I would say fix, exert, pitch me a skill.
Ugh, my skills are not made for this. Probably my.
You can't talk to it, but I'll allow lots of other things.
Would you allow stab to use a knife to, like, try to pry it out of the system?
Can I help with that?
Yeah. You already done a thing this turn. If it doesn't work out, you can help with it next turn.
Okay.
The answer to can I use stab, Ren, is always yes. It is never no. You can always, almost any circumstance. I dare you.
I will find the breaking point on that one.
I believe you. You're rolling 2d6. You're adding stab and dexterity, strength, int.
Let's see.
Not charisma.
Not charisma. I don't have anything else to add to any of those, but I have no negatives in any of those attributes, so that is what's most important right now.
Great.
Ooh, I hate that. That's a 3. That's as close to a crit fail as you can get in this system, I think.
Yes, absolutely. We're killing it. So, wow. Consequence.
Let's do it.
You or the car?
Call it. Hang on. We're gonna roll some dice about it. Call it. Heads or tails?
Heads is you.
It's me.
It's you. Very good. As you stab into the car. What a lovely sentence beginner. This is a car that is equipped with the finest safety protocols. As you said about a different corporation, if something goes wrong, people could get sued, money could pass hands. They don't want that to happen. As you stab into the car, you will trigger a safety protocol on overdrive, and just a huge ass, fucking thing that comes out of the driving wheel. Airbag.
Oh.
There we go. Airbag will explode out into your face, and you'll take like a point of damage.
Does that go into my soak?
That will go into your soak.
Cool.
Your armor will take that.
So yeah, I think I'm dazed, but I'm not actually hurt from that.
Yeah,
like,
this is
kind
also
of
made
the weird whiplash.
This has also made the place we were trying to stick the knife a little bit less accessible, because now there is an airbag deflating in front of you between you and it. It's getting sillier in this car, and it will get sillier still when you get attacked by a thing. I'm going to roll the trauma die before I roll the damage die, because this is the sort of weapon that can do trauma to vehicles. Your trauma target is 12, for what it's worth. And I'm rolling a d12, and I've rolled a 3. So, your vehicle will take 20 less 8 damage, is 12. Sorry, 20 less 8 damage, yes, is 12 damage.
Jesus.
28 minus 12?
16. 28 minus 12 is 16.
That is math. That's happened. Meanwhile, elsewhere, I might have done that to a character rather than the thing. Would someone annotate this token for me and make that 16 out of 30? While that's happening, I'm gonna spin back around to Vale first, and then Abe, and then Lore. Vale. You are in the vents. There is a gas. It is pumping
Great.
through these vents.
Cool.
I will give you advantage on your
me-
physical saving throw for being coked up.
Great. I think that this is truly like it. This is rodent maneuvers. I am going to
Yeah.
scurry through these vents as fast as possible, based on my general where I saw the roof open, which vent I went in. I'm gonna just aim for as close to the direction of where I think that drone came from, and the first opening that I find, like the first ventilation grid that I find that I can kick through or whatever, I'm just gonna do it. At this point, I a little bit am not worried about if people are there, because I'm target focused on other things.
Yeah. Let me make you roll a couple of things.
Yes.
First thing, let's do that physical saving throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
D20 twice.
Great. 2d20. That's a 17 and a 14.
Great, you're fine. You feel that you will slow down eventually, but the uppers and the downers right now are canceling each other out.
This
Again,
ain't my first drug cocktail rodeo.
if I wasn't already making you run a bunch of dice, I would make you run some dice to see if you can identify what you're inhaling right now. But instead, the skill of navigation is survive. You could roll me survive and intelligence to try to track this to pop out in the right room.
Great, okay. That's fine. I have a +1 in intelligence, and I have a flat 0 in survive, so at least it's not a negative.
All right.
No whammies, no whammies. 11!
It's a good thing we have a laundry here to roll high while the rest of the group rolls low.
I'm so scared for what this means when I actually get into the system, y'all.
Yeah. So you scurry through the vents. You can not smell, but feel this gas landing on you. You kick out through a vent. You can see a large room which would have housed the CASRA. There is only one. There's not a second helicopter there.
Thank God.
Boy, that would be a different scene. You can see just Vale like on the helicopter, manning the guns.
Oh, no. That would have been Vale going to town with a crowbar. Vale knows their limitations. Great. Okay. Empty bay.
This is not a place that's highly secured. You can see that there is a computer system that probably controls like the takeoff, landing, connected to the autopilot of it, can control it if there's not a pilot. And there is one tech just monitoring the system sitting behind the screen. Let's say that she hasn't noticed you yet.
Does the place where she is sitting look like it is the only point from which I can/should jack in?
Ooh, I'm gonna say yes in this room. There's a security camera. It might be connected to this system, but this system might well be self-contained and just going directly out to the...
And given where I am versus... I'm painting you a picture. What I would love to be able to do, and you can say no. If it looks like, if she has not noticed me yet, what I would love to do is get to a door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there's a door here, and, like, I don't even need to fully open it. I just want to slam against it and then come running at her like I have just come through this door. If that is...
Okay. Interesting. I would never say no. I would always say roll dice about it. Sneak. Dexterity sneak.
Okay. Let me see. I think... Okay. My dex is famously bad, hilariously for this character. It's because of the drugs, as we've established.
It's because of the drugs.
Okay, that's a 0 for my sneaking. Let's see. 7.
Yo, you run across the room. She's not looking up. You've got a perfect, like, the console is blocking her line of sight until you trip over nothing. Perhaps your own feet, perhaps your enthusiasm is what you trip over. You recover well. It's not like you're sprawling on the ground. You stand up again, you bounce, but she is aware that you have come in through not the door.
Doesn't matter.
We'll turn away. Yeah, we'll turn away. We'll look at... Actually, right before we get to Abe, because we need to get to the rolling dice about the chase scene, because this goes back to lore, which is something is going. There's some kind of glitch in your car. The security system is engaged. I don't know. Listen, I can't make it go faster remotely, but I can give you control. Like,
Oh, please give me control.
okay, you've driven one of these before, right?
Of course I have.
DB, you are in control of this vehicle now.
I think that
you-
laughter comes out of lore.
You can feel, yeah, Laura, you can feel security systems disengaging. You can feel, like, in an ideal world, you would be able to jack into this car and drive it around if you had such a thing as a hacker on your person. Failing that, it's kind of like getting into those same systems that that Glitch was in, and like literally like touching wires to other wires to control this at this point.
I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Try and like buttons and do all that stuff to get it to go as fast as possible, Sam.
Yeah. So this is where I would normally say drive, fix, but tell me the skill that you would like to use, and we will see how fast this car goes or does not go.
Because I am like pulling on things, could I do exert?
Ooh.
Literally just pulling into the guts of the car, trying to make it go faster.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where I'll say yes, but the consequences are especially funny if you fail.
God. Do we want me to use the advantage before I roll?
Thumbs up.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah, get it out of the system before that rocket launcher gets used.
Okay. So what is it all together, Sam? It would be strength and exert?
3d6. Yeah, 3d6 KH2 plus strength and exert. Nine, 10, 11. 11 is a good number. So you are reaching into the guts of the car. You are pulling at the wires. You don't really know why this works or how this works. As out the open window, you can see the lights of the city streaming past, the fog streaming past. Your car begins speeding up. 11 is the difficulty of catching up with you, right? You are moving down the line.
Okay.
I am going to roll for the helicopter. Right now, the helicopter is flying and moving fast and not impeded by other cars, so it has a pretty significant bonus.
Sure.
I suspect that things that other players are doing will make this bonus go lower over the course of time. But right now, nice. Duke.
Thank you, Dukeling.
Right now I'm gonna roll d20. Sorry, I'm gonna roll not a d20. Ignore that. I'm gonna roll 2d6 for them following you. That is this number. They have rolled a 6. I am going to add 6 to that for all of the advantages they get presently. 6 is higher than 12 is higher than 11, but only just. So it's keeping it approximately the same distance from you as you've sped up your car. Now I'm back over to Abe. In order to catch up, you want to be in the like 10, 11, 12 range.
All right. And that's just a 1d20, right?
If you're catching up, I'm going to ask you to roll me like a drive. I don't think you can cheese me to make this something not a drive.
No.
You could maybe fire the rocket from this distance, but it's a far distance.
Oh, I'd really like not to. So that's 2d6, yeah?
2d6, drive and dex, probably.
All right, so that's an 11 on the dice, -1 for negative drive, and then dex, which I'm glad I went ahead and buffed in the interim. I'm back at 11 for drive.
Rad. So here's the scene. Scooching down the freeway, making your way the freeway. Nothing is free. Scooching down the elevated road. The buildings whizzing past you at equal speed. The two vehicles and the helicopter, the CASRA sandwiched between them. No one is gaining on anyone. No one is losing speed on anyone as you are making your way from the relatively open roads to the section, to the knot, to the tangle of roads that squats in the center of Wokeland. We're going to take a break. After we get back, we'll be at the maze.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll be back very shortly because all of our adrenaline is just pounding. So we'll see you all very soon. Stick around. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back. Maybe one of these days I'll release the recordings from our break material because, dear Christ, the number of times that I've howled laughing in the last 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone.
We're gonna release that, but only to Duke.
Yeah, if I ever do a Patreon for this channel, whatever it ends up being called, that will be one of the things that gets released. There and there only.
Heavily edited vending machine lore.
That's right. So here's the situation. We are on session 8, and I am going to do the thing where you say the name. It is midnight in the Garden of Chrome and Fog.
When the
fog...
guy in the movie. Oh, sorry. I thought I was on mute. I'm so sorry.
Roll credits! Roll credits! You're okay,
perfect.
Cal.
Perfect. Literally though, right? Like as the fog is lower around you, can almost not see the helicopter except from when the CASRA, I keep looking for the name, Close Air Support Rotoring Aircraft. As it occasionally descends below the fog, its headlamps like two eyes scouring for you. It's still following you unerringly because still somewhere in your car is the system, the transponder that it knows how to track. Your car has taken damage. There are bullets along the back of it. The back windshield is cracked. Not yet shattered, but nearly that. It's only by miracle that it hasn't hit any of your tires, which would spell the end of this entire shindig. Your car is in front. The CASRA is in the middle. Pulling up the rear is a classic vehicle, the sort of thing you'd find in an antique fair or a junkyard. Our friend Ackroyd. I want to take it to the people who are in the car, Glitch, Lore, and Eve. You have not yet pulled away. Up ahead of you, the roads are going to get complicated. What are you guys doing?
Can you describe the maze?
I can try. Imagine, if you will, 100 years ago from this future, someone decided to grid what once was the United States in concrete, in an interstate freeway system. Imagine holding down the earth, dividing district from district using that freeway system. Imagine all of those freeways coming together and someone having, some poor government employee back when there was a government here, having to decide how to make it possible to get from several different roads onto several other different roads. Roads that sort of intersected, not all in one place, but in kind of over the course of a mile or so of freeway. And what they constructed to do this was an ungodly abomination of on-ramps, off-ramps, switchbacks, switch forwards, loop-de-loop spirals, roads that seem to go to nowhere. I've lived in the real Bay Area my entire life, and I'm pretty sure there are roads in the maze that I've never been on. Roads that no one has ever been on.
I'm pretty sure half of it's fucking ley lines. I'm just saying that right now.
100%. 100%.
And in the 60 years between now and the future, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse in two ways. One way is that people aren't driving it anymore. Machines are driving it, so the turns can be sharper. The grades can be steeper. Everything's a little bit more baroque. Two, there are more roads going in more directions. and 3, the city has grown up around it, like skin growing over an old wound. So buildings kind of stretch over the roads in many places. So if you went off the maze in the real world, you would fall lots of feet and die. If you went off the maze in this world, you might fall lots of feet and die. You might smash into someone's apartment. Anything is possible. Overhangs, underpasses, all of that sort of comes together in this stacked abomination that is the maze. Thank you for asking, DB.
You're welcome, I guess. Does it... So part of this is for me to try and figure out if there is a way for us to get, not through it, but like maybe use the car as a distraction and we somehow get out of the car as the car keeps driving, basically. And finding a way for us to like duck in between maybe alleyways kind of thing. I feel like I should be able to exert enough to make the car keep going the way I need it to.
The relatively easy part of this is keeping the car going forward.
Sure.
The harder part is how your exit works. The maze does have overpasses, underpass, like tunnels, essentially. So you could try to do a curve in a tunnel. Like, you could get a moment of cover that way.
Yeah.
But you probably wouldn't have a lot of time to, like, stop the car, get out,
Correct.
start it again, all of that sort of thing.
Yeah. I am looking for more of maybe these two getting out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know who they're following, and if they catch me, it's not as big a deal.
Good old 4-way party split. I like it. Let's see if we can get all the way. Rad, are you telling them that that's your plan?
I am gonna tell them, okay, in true me fashion, we're gonna do something dumb. And you see the tunnel? I'm gonna make sure our car keeps going. We are going to jump out and get to the tunnel. I will slow it down a little bit, but I can't slow it down a lot because I gotta keep. It has to keep going so that that thing follows it.
We're gonna jump.
Yes.
Well, this is going to hurt a lot.
Laura's gonna take off like weirdly, you know how sometimes you have to one-handed take stuff off while you're driving?
Yeah.
She's gonna take off her like doctor's coat, trying to get whatever she can that would cause more padding for the person.
Don't you need that? We're gonna jump.
I have my armor. I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is just extra for... I'm not a squishy, okay? I can take a beating. It's fine.
The doctor's uniform isn't going to add a whole lot of armor, but
No.
yeah, you could put it on for a bit of padding. Who's putting on the doctor's uniform?
Let me look at my HP. I'm fine. I'll head to GlitchAngle.
She's already feeling a little about everyone being fragile around her. But she'll take it and put it on, grumbling the whole time.
All right.
I also Laura rips the wig off her head. She's like, "Fuck this!" Like,
Yeet.
I think there's a standing expectation between you and the nameless old woman from whom you get costumes, which is you can return them. It's nice if they're returned. It's okay if they're not.
fair enough. I don't think Laura gets her wigs from her so much. It's more of like the actual clothing part of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
And
the
Laura does
doctor's
try.
coat is the doctor's coat is leaving. Possibly
She'll
in
get
pieces.
it back later. It's fine. She didn't say it had to come back in one piece.
Just tattered, totally ripped up doctor's outfit.
We know the lingerie is the expensive stuff. That's what has to come back in one piece.
You're not wrong, and of course, if it comes back in like the H bomber guy like style of lab coat, it's a vogue. It's a vibe. It's a look. Yes, I love H bomber guy.
So, Lore, here's the deal. You are rolling an exert roll. You are rolling a strength exert roll. And what
Okay.
you are trying to do with this is to get the car to slow down and then speed up again.
Yes.
This would normally require a certain amount of finesse, and you are trying to brute force it.
Yeah.
Roll dice.
Okay, everything's fine, guys.
2d6.
7.
That's a number, and that's not a great number.
No.
So you're still driving. You've got two choices here. The car slows down and does not speed up again, or the car speeds up and does not slow down in the first place.
Slows down.
Okay. You get the slows down aspect. Glitch, Eve, are you going to jump out of a moving car? As you are moving through a tunnel between roads and other roads, there's maybe like 80 feet between the road that you're on and like the actual ground beneath. So you'd be kind of like on the road itself, scrabbling at the windows of the apartments nearby, or maybe jumping to other roads. Are you jumping out of a moving vehicle?
So just to clarify, we would be jumping from this car, not on the road is 80 feet below us?
No, you are on the road. The road from the road to the actual ground of the city is 80 feet. It's overpasses, right? So like you could jump onto the road. You would not be able to immediately just run off into an alleyway because the alleyways are down. You could run off to like a window in the side of this building. You could like parkour over to a window in the side of a building if that was a thing you wanted to do and like knock on it politely. You'll be starting this in a tunnel too, so like in the tunnel itself, you'll just be in a tunnel between like buildings and roads and other roads.
Okay. I'm gonna. Oh God, I don't want to jump out of a moving vehicle. I'm not gonna jump until Glitch jumps.
Yeah, Glitch is hashtag not thrilled about this, but also recognizes that if that drone keeps firing, we're going to die in a fiery car crash. So she's going to take her chances.
The two of you jump out of a moving vehicle, somewhat slower moving vehicle, under fire in the maze. Would you believe that this system has rules for jumping out of a moving vehicle?
Yes, because that is
Yes.
very much a trope in this system, in this kind of storytelling.
I'm going to need each of you to make 2 saving throws, a physical saving throw and a luck saving throw. Because the car slowed down, take advantage to the luck saving throw.
Okay.
And that is a d20?
It's a d20 and you're trying to roll higher than the number. It's bad if you fail both. It's okay if you succeed at one. It's better if you succeed at both.
Okay. So, first one is my physical. Second ones will be my luck. That's not how that goes.
Remove the T. 2d20 KH1.
9.
Okay, the first is my physical,
Okay.
and the second is my luck.
As the two of you leap out of the car, other cars are whizzing past at various speeds. Eve, let's start with you. Have you succeeded at both your physical and your luck saving throw?
I succeeded my physical. What was the luck number that I had to get? I had to hit.
It'll be on your character sheet where it says luck. It'll say
Yes.
higher than a
13.
number. Yeah.
Yes, I succeeded both, barely.
Eve, you leap out of the vehicle. Barely doesn't matter, fortunately for you. You will take 0 damage. You will land unscathed. It hurts, right? Like you will bounce, you will roll a little bit. Your clothes will get more torn up. But meaningfully, you are not. No bones broken. Maybe a little winded. You are fine. Glitch, did you succeed at your physical or your luck saving throw.
I failed both of them.
All right. Glitch, for no reason, could you re-roll the physical saving throw?
Wait, you failed your luck too?
My luck is a 13.
You got a
You
14.
succeeded.
as
You
your
got a
high.
14.
No, I did not.
No, you got a
Yes, you
20.
did.
Oh,
Yeah.
the keep highest one. Oh, yes.
You're rolling with
Yeah, it's
advantage, not
advantage.
disadvantage. Yeah.
I only looked at the first one. Sorry. So yes,
It's all good.
I failed this physical, succeeded the luck.
Re-roll the physical one for no reason.
7.
Okay,
Worse.
fine. Listen. Eve lands well, you don't. You skid a little bit. You are going to take half your maximum hit points in damage.
Rounded up or rounded down?
Rounded down.
Okay, so that is 6 for me. I have a soak of 4 currently. Am I able to?
So it will go to the armor first, and then it will go to you.
All right. So definitely hurt. My armor is currently trashed, but not as bad as it could have been.
You are scuffed. You are hurt. Maybe you've sprained something, but you're okay. As the car... Oh! Glitch, did you jump out?
Yes.
Sorry, not Glitch. Laura, did you jump out?
No.
I knew she wouldn't.
The car moves forward. Meanwhile, elsewhere.
Eve is screaming, Lord!
The night, the sounds of the road absorb your voice.
Yeah, I think I will grab it even and be like, they're not looking for her. If we get out, we're fine. They're looking for me.
They're still gonna shoot her.
Maybe, maybe not. But she's ditched us. That gives her a better shot. She's ditched me.
With now a single cracked plate of glass no longer separating from the outside, you can see in the CASRA that had been following you, there are 3 people sitting in it. A pilot, a gunner, and yes, that doctor, the elder, the head of surgery, just sitting behind the 2 of them watching. I'm moving over to Vale. Vale, there is a tech, young-ish, looking up at you, eyes wide, being like, whoa, who the hell are you?
Okay. Here's the thing. Something's gone very wrong. Something's gone very wrong with the drone, and I need to get into that system right the fuck now, okay? So just move out of the way. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of it, okay?
Charisma talk.
Oh no.
Just like eyes wide, stunned.
I'm truly just hoping that I can overwhelm her with
Yeah,
the
this is going to be a
speed
fairly
of
low
this,
difficulty.
Yeah. Because I don't have a whole lot of either of those skills, I don't think. That is a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say hit a 6. You have hit a 6. So, like, this is the easiest difficulty just because she's overwhelmed. She'll look at the system. Everything looks fine on the system. Everything is bipping and blooping the way it should be. But just the sheer energy that you've brought in, she'll take a step back. She's not leaving the room, but she'll take a step back.
I don't need her to leave the room. I'm gonna run up to the console. I'm gonna kind of like with the urgency of someone who just has no concern for personal space. I'm gonna shove her a little bit out of the way. Not trying to be aggressive, just the like I'm skidding in. I'm gonna reach into my little pocket tin. I am going to simultaneously one hand pop a window and other hand jack in. Because
Nice.
I need to have 2 actions available to me for programming shit. My eyes are
Nice.
so bloodshot right now.
So it's clear as you get into this that this is a like off-the-shelf, store-bought, generic idiom. Incongruous to the scene that you are in, it is set up like a very calming, like spa sort of scenario. You can talk to people at the spa. That is how you control the system. Is just conversational. You say, "Excuse me, attendant, please do this," and then they do it. That appears to be the scenario here.
Hilarious. I love this so much. Thank you for this gift, Sam. I'm going to ruin everything immediately. Cool.
And you can still do a thing. You've jacked in.
Great.
You've got actions.
Great. We're both literally because of what I have, like in mechanics wise, but also flavor wise because of what Vale knows how to do or not do. We are going to be pushing some like, can I get away with this? And I am willing to take consequences for it. Looking around this spa, wrapped in my little raccoon-sized bathrobe, with some cucumbers in one hand and a tall ice-cold glass of whatever the hell they handed me, some smoothie or something in the other.
Yeah, DB has already started drawing this in her head. I saw that on your face.
DB's so mad every time I describe my entry into the hackerspace. What I am looking for is... Vale cannot pilot drones yet. This is a skill that Vale is learning. This is not a skill Vale has yet. And because of that, I also do not have a lot of the drone-related programming. So what I am looking for, in whatever way it is available, is I want to, I think, try to... In a good world where I can use something that I have more benefit from, I want to try to, like, erase program. I want to find a program that is operating and attempt to erase it. Just erase something that is vital enough that it's gonna fuck with their shit. Like, that's that's the base minimum. If I need to do something more aggressive, I will do my homemade siege program, which I have disadvantage on. And I will try to, like, siege a program or siege a data file or something like that. But, like, that's... If I can get away with using, like, a real minimal erase on either a program or a data file, just enough to try to fuck shit up. That's what I'm going for.
Let me remind myself what Siege is supposed to do. Siege is pretty on the nose for this.
Yes, Siege is a device-based. If I had Siege Drone, that would be my immediate response. I don't have Drone. I'm pushing the bounds a little bit of what qualifies as a device.
Can you auto change nouns or just verbs? I know that you can change program elements around.
Let me double check what I can modify edit to a subject program element.
So I would certainly allow Siege Drone would be on the nose.
Siege Drone is going to be more risky, but it's the most effective if I can do it. So great. I'm gonna...
I'll say if you do want to do the erase, like you could erase the like turbo stabilizers or whatever for the thing. You can make it a little harder to control.
I'd rather Siege Drone. Like if I can just fucking destroy this thing, that's really the goal. I will take the gamble on it. I'm hoping that my extreme amount of drugs will just let me zero in Matrix style and succeed at things.
Let's see it.
Okay. Great. I'm making choices for what I'm doing. I'm making notes for myself. I'm going to drop transmission and I'm going to turn transmission into drone.
Great.
Cool.
You swap out the drink they've handed you with a different drink, or you use programming to change it into a different drink. It stops being a smoothie. It is a spicy drink now.
Yeah, I swapped my really calming smoothie for like a just extremely fiery Bloody Mary.
Before you roll.
Huh?
Before you roll.
Before you roll.
Yes.
Do you want to use advantage?
Do people want me to use advantage? This is a flat roll for me because I have a +2 and a -2. So, okay, you want me? Okay, great. Then I'm gonna roll. Then I'm gonna take the. Then I'm gonna take the advantage. That is 3d6 kh2.
You grab a towel and just start whipping people with it.
Here we go, guys. That is a 12.
That is a number. All right.
That is a 12. So, holy shit.
Tell me how you are sieging this spa.
I walk into the spa, I take my smoothie, I go to a counter, I dump it out, I open a cupboard, I mix myself an incredibly spicy Bloody Mary. Somewhere, just out of the, like, depths of this refrigerator, I pull out, like, one of those giant skewers that has, like, fucking sliders and bacon and stuff on it. I shove it in. I walk over to the little, like, iPod mini that's controlling the sound, that's playing this nice calming like Enya chimes situation, and I slam it into Highway to Hell. I chug my drink, slam my glass down, and go, "We're partying!"
Right, and immediately everyone in the spa just like throws off their bathrobes. It's somewhere between a rave and an orgy in here. Like
Yeah.
it's just going down. All connection is lost with the outside world as that happens in this idiom. You can sort of dimly sense outside that the woman who had been monitoring the situation is concerned and might step in a moment. But let's swing around to Abe. Are you doing things other than driving?
How far away is Abe from where the two of them jumped out of the car?
This is all relative space here. Each of these little, I don't know, Legend of Zelda rupees represents space.
Fun.
So they're still pretty significantly up ahead. But when we roll for the chasing to see how far people move relative to each other, I'll move them back towards you.
Okay. At this point, I mean, like, couple of things though. One, right? He's ejected the swing big band cassette because it didn't really fit, and for no reason at all, apropos of nothing, he puts in the Clash. We're rocking the Casbah, baby. For no reason at all. He's listening to that, but yeah, no, I mean, he just keeps he drives full steam ahead, hoping to catch up to the group. And then he'll make a decision as to what to do then.
All right, so step one. Vale, if you haven't already, do give yourself the system strain for plugging in and then doing the siege all at the same time.
I will do that. Also, I'm so sorry to do this, but I think it's important because Abe is currently driving Ackroyd. We have established that Ackroyd is technically out of my price range and therefore has a minimum HP. So I think Ackroyd's actual hit points are like 5.
Oh yeah, good call. Good point.
Sorry, friends. I just gotta keep it honest.
That's what I like to hear. It has far fewer hit points now. Great, so that's going down. Meanwhile, I would like Vale and Abe and the vehicle itself, the CASRA, to all make driving rolls to set the speed and the relative distance. This is going to be exert and strength again for you, Lore. Drive and Dex, Abe, and we'll see what the machine rolls after you gone. Abe, I'll give you a hard choice in a sec.
Okay.
Lore's doing great. That's what I like to see. I'm gonna roll 2d6 for them. Okay, right. So here's the scenario. Lore's car is maintaining speed. Lore is in control of it. This can't keep working forever. Eventually, you will have pulled out all the wires, and this is going to just pull over to the side of the road and crash, or something. But for now, you are making good speed. The CASRA, all of the signals that it was getting back from home base, you're pretty sure that following the transponder, the ability to do that was coming from home base. You're pretty sure stabilizers was coming from home base. The ability to track things in space was coming from home base. It is basically just being piloted by someone who's got a skill jack in his head, who sort of knows what he's doing. And I rolled a 3. So, Abe, you are catching up to that. I'm going to move you to here. As it's starting to plummet out of the sky, it's not going to crash. They're clearly going to, like, again, eventually regain altitude, but they're not having an easy time maintaining anything. Lore has pulled forward. They're going to make one more attack on Lore's vehicle at extreme range, which means they have a disadvantage, not disadvantage, but a penalty to hit. So I'm going to roll a d20. I'm going to add 3. The gunner's still doing his job just fine. Your armor class is normally 11 for this. It's going to be 15. We're going to see if they hit you. For those of you who are following along at home, that was a natural 20. The good news is, a natural 20 isn't a critical hit. It just means that it hits. So, Lore, you're going to get hit by an extreme range one of these things. I'm going to roll the trauma die. This is the one you got to worry about. A 10's not a 12. You're okay. This highly defensible, trying to protect the rich kids who drive it thing, um, is able to not just be immediately fucked by this. But I'm gonna roll another 3d8 damage. 17 less 8 is 9. How many hit points does your car have left?
I cannot see. Hold on.
There's 16 left, so after the 9, you're at 7.
Great. Someone annotate that for me. My keyboard's doing weird things. Your car is on its last legs. It is shorting. One of the tires is out, Lore. It's a bad scene in there. But the good news is they don't seem to have clocked that Glitch and Eve left. You did that in the tunnel. They are still following after you. We're gonna keep it rolling back around again. Glitch and Eve. Yeah, you're on the side of the road. The road is elevated. When I say tunnel, again, it's like an underpass that is sandwiched between another overpass and two buildings. The tunnel. It's whole those you can find like on off the side of the road into the weird like columns that hold it up. You try to get to the building on the side. There are cars whizzing past at a stately 60 miles an hour.
Okay, good. That did settle down. You went very glitchy for a minute there, my friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did the words come through?
Not really.
All right,
I know
will
there are
say them again.
buildings.
Take it again for
Yeah,
safety.
yeah.
What's more
Yeah,
the
you're
feeling?
sandwiched. You're sandwiched, as it were, between an underpass and an overpass, buildings on either side. It's a tunnel in that it's semi-enclosed, but it's not totally enclosed. You could slip off the side of the road you're on down to layers of road beneath or find some way to go layers of road up. The buildings that are on either side have windows, not really balconies, they're not high class like that, but theoretically you could do something with that. There are cars whizzing past at a stately speed of 60 miles an hour.
Poof. How close are the buildings to us?
Jumpable, reasonably jumpable.
Is there something to grab onto on the outside if there aren't balconies?
You would have to grab onto many of the windows have bars on the outside. So you'd have to grab onto the bars and then try to get through them somehow. Not all of the windows are barred. You can easily grab barred windows and like try to smash through the window like next door or below or around somewhere.
Of course, it's the two least physical characters.
I'm gonna ask an extremely not stressful question. Who has the briefcase?
Eve,
I
Eve?
believe it's me.
I
Yeah.
think it's Eve. I think
All right.
Eve has the briefcase. I have Glitch's data, and either Glitch or Eve or Lore has the drugs.
Great. I
Did
love that you
Lore
brought it with
still
you as you
has-
jumped out of the car.
yeah, did Lord pass that bag off to us, or did...
You went through
I
the
think
bag.
Eve had it for
Yeah.
because Eve was checking it for stuff. So I think
Yeah.
Eve has the briefcase and the drugs, and I have the data.
And Laura has nothing on her but a doctor's outfit and a wig sitting next to her.
Well, now you don't have doctor's outfit because
It's on
Glitch
me.
is wearing it, and you threw the wig. So
It's in the car. I didn't throw it out.
Oh,
with
you know,
guys.
Glitch- Glitch, take 1 hit point less of damage.
Oh, thanks. Stars and stones. Okay.
Right, so Eve with a briefcase under one arm, bag full of drugs on the other, maybe also your medical kit somehow slung around and all of that. Yes.
I think all of it's gotten shoved into one, like, shoulder, like, messenger bag situation at this point.
Very fair.
I'm gonna look at
okay.
Eve, eyes wide, just like, we can't stay on the side of the road. We will get hit.
Where are we gonna go? I can't jump
Just
that.
Can't you?
Oh dear. Okay, ready?
No!
Go. They just we run. And
Yeah,
jump
definitely like
for
run,
a barred
like,
window.
Get as much of a running start as possible. If we have like the cognizance, I would point Eve at one of the barred windows that's next to an unbarred window, and I would go for another one that's next to another unbarred window, so that we're not aiming for the same fucking spot.
Boink. Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
sorry.
real bad.
Wrong boinking.
Terrible ways to die. Wrong boinking.
Cats
Sorry, it took
related
me a
for
second to
different
compute.
boinking.
I would love both of you to roll me one last. I say one last. You're not going to die. Everything's going to be fine. It's either strength exert or dexterity exert, unless you pitch me real hard a different thing.
Yeah, I don't have anything else that I can really pitch unless I'm able to like pull. Unless I'm able to pull out a dagger and like stab it into the side of the building to catch myself with and use stab.
Yeah,
I am testing the fucking bounds of you saying stab is always the right answer.
You are. I've said a thing, and now you are immediately testing it.
Obviously, I'm a player.
Yeah. You can stab the window. Actually, I'm okay with that. That's fine. That's acceptable.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same
Look,
thing because
the
I got
You're
a
both
stab.
gonna-
The DC can change even when the skill stays the same.
Yeah. I mean, there's things are shifting behind the scenes here, but give me some rolls to stab the windows. I mean, here's meaningfully what it is, right? The way that you're going through the windows by stabbing them involves getting glass in you, right? So there's going to be some
That's
damage
fine.
probably as a result.
That's a 9 for me.
9's higher than 8.
I gotta roll. Okay.
Because I put more extra in stab.
12.
Fuck yeah!
12 is much higher than 8. Here, listen. The two of you pumped full of adrenaline, and as Eve runs, Glitch from time to time, as things swing back and forth, as the case that she's carrying swings back and forth, that does put you in proximate to the briefcase, and you get those little zings of energy from that. Eve, there's nothing to explain yours other than just sheer chutzpah, as the two of you leap from the road to the windows, knives first, and smash through the windows. Eve, you're going to take a little bit of damage. Glitch, you're going to take a little bit more damage because you rolled less high. Well, so Eve, I'm going to roll you a d6 of damage. That's 5.
That is my armor, so it will soak up my soak.
Great. Yeah, you can feel the knives of the glass kind of scraping against you, but none of them are actually penetrating through to your flesh. Glitch, I got 2d6s with your name on them.
Give them to me.
How do you feel about 7?
I don't love it, but it's not unconscious.
All right. You do not feel that degree of protection. Your cloak, your doctor's uniform, totally ragged, and now your blood is soaking into it as you've landed in some darkened apartment.
Yeah, I think I cry out with like the cutting that happens, but because I cannot quite help it, but feet are on ground. That's what matters right now.
Do we land in the same apartment?
You landed in 2 separate, like the apartment is a 2-room apartment. You landed in the 2 rooms of the apartment.
Excellent. Thank you.
The 2 rooms of this apartment were the 2 that didn't have bars over the windows. Many of the places have bars under the windows. It's actually kind of strange that this one apartment doesn't have bars over the windows. Now that you think about it.
Ow.
We'll worry about that later.
Ow. Ow.
Oh, okay, hold on.
The good news is the 2 of you are meaningfully out of this chase. I'm going to say, Abe, you were able to track that. You see where they've gone. But the CASRA did not. The CASRA is trying to maintain altitude. Vale, it is your turn. You are in the helicopter ward of a hospital.
I am having the wildest and most demonetizing orgy this spa has ever seen. As I siege this drone, I want to just double check terminology to make sure that I'm not misremembering how things work.
I think it stays sieged, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I believe this is still like an active thing. Just checking, just double checking like language and concept. So, Yeah. The network connections are severed for everyone but the hacker, blocking transit data or drone control. Defenders can attempt to run terminate program from any adjacent node. So I'm going to maintain the siege for as long as I can. So I am just, I don't know, like somewhere out of my spa robe, I have produced glow sticks that I am distributing. I don't know what flavor that is. Maybe it's just me, like, I don't know, like, just like changing little bits of code here and there. Nothing like extreme. Just like fucking, like, I'm going to take this 0 to a 1 for funsies.
Absolutely. As you do that, the complicating factor is going to be simply this. The woman who is monitoring this is going to just jack you out. She's going to pull the wires out of your head.
Great. I was kind of expecting that to be a possible complication. So
the good news is it is still going to take someone else doing some work to get everything fully operational again here. But she is pulling you out and she is saying, "What are you doing? Who are you? You have clearly just made things worse."
I have to look up something really fast on my sheet.
Oh, and did I mention she's holding a taser? She's holding a taser.
Cool. Yeah,
it's
that's
pointing at you. It's a little hesitant in her hands. She's clearly never tased anyone before in the line of duty, but she is equipped with one.
Okay, but she's got a taser. She did have to, I'm assuming this is one-handed because she had to use one hand to jack me out.
Absolutely.
Great. We're just going to roll into Vale's terrible life decisions. Vale is just going to spin around. She says, "You're clearly making this worse." I'm just going to look at her unblinkingly with my incredibly bloodshot eyes and possibly a little bit of like blood starting to come out my nose because of the intensity of this hacking situation. And I'm just going to look and be like, "I don't think you understand. I think I just saved us all." And I am going to reach my hand around to try to grab her, and I am going to try to just pull her into like the most traditional dip lip lock kiss that I can manage. I am just going for distraction. That is all I need.
I don't think I need you to roll dice because like you'll pull that off and then she'll shoot you. All of those things will happen. But like you've definitely bought a couple of like stunned seconds before she is going to stun you with the stunner that's in her hand.
All I need is to buy as much time as possible before anyone can get in and deactivate my program. I believe Siege is a program that runs until someone else terminates it or I do. So it is still going. It is still using my CPU. I just need to prevent anybody else from touching it for as long as possible.
I believe that to be the case. I'm going to roll an attack roll. You're going to tell me what your ranged armor class is.
It's bad. My ranged AC is 10, which is the same as all my AC, because I'm wearing street clothes.
She's going to do you a not particularly impressive 1 non-lethal damage as she shoots the taser. She rolled a 20 to hit and a 1 damage, and what I'm going to say that represents is you don't feel the pain. She's hit you a perfect shot. She's hit you a perfect shot with the taser, but you're so drugged up right now that you're basically fine.
Great. I just look at her and I'm just like, "Oh baby, we can get wild tonight."
Yeah. Absolutely. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Abe, you can see there is a CASRA. It is beginning to ready itself in the sky. It's stabilizing itself. You're much closer to it than you were before. Glitch and Eve are over there. Laura's driving away. What's the play?
2 questions.
Yeah.
Vale, does Ackroyd have a sunroof?
I do not remember if this specific model of Winnebago historically has a sunroof, so I will defer to the GM.
I looked up a Winnebago token for this sequence.
Yes.
On the off chance that this would happen. The Winnebago token does seem to have a sunroof. If I'm reading this
based
correctly.
On my vague memory of like my grandparents' RV, which was not this specific model but was something semi-similar, I think there's usually just like that little like weird tinted domed, it's not like a full like retractable, but it's like a little vent that you can at least pop open.
Yeah.
There is one usually in the shower. or bathroom area.
Oh no, let's go with
The
that.
fan.
Yeah, no, that's much funnier. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely a little vent that you can pop open in the shower.
And then question 2 was, Sam, yes, the CASRA is, trying to stabilize itself. Is it going in any particular direction, or is it just holding station, right?
It's still following after Laura's vehicle. You know that Laura's in there, and it's still following her. The transponder has not been disabled. Looking at that vehicle, one more shot would destroy the vehicle and probably fuck up Laura pretty bad.
So, what's gonna happen, right?
Uh-huh.
It's funny as the shower sunroof is. Let's be real here.
Uh-huh. Go on. I don't know the meaning of the word.
So what Abe is going to try and contrive to do is he's going to take our little buddy Reeves, right? And he's going to activate his go routine, right? Be like, all right, all right, little buddy, I just need you to step on the gas for me, right? And he's going to place him in the pedal well of the Winnebago, right?
Reeves, take the wheel!
Right? And then he's gonna just go to the back of the Winnebago and retrieve and this is for my Metal Gear Solid / military hardware fetishists, it's the same thing out there. You think of it like a Stinger missile.
Same circle.
Right? Yeah. Right? The Venn diagram's a circle.
Yeah.
And whilst Reeves takes the wheel, right? He goes and retrieves this cyberpunk Stinger, right? And then he gets back into the driver's seat, opens the door just enough to where he can kind of manipulate the steering column with his knee.
Uh-huh.
And for those of you who don't get off on the prospect of military hardware, a Stinger missile is essentially, right, like an infrared homing surface-to-air missile. Man-portable, right? Person-portable. They have to fucking gender weapons anyway. And he's gonna try and get a lock on the CASRA, and then he's gonna squeeze the trigger and let the only rocket in here find its way home.
The rocket launches. You're close enough. It is not dodging enough. There's only one rocket. I am fine with it being heat-seeking. I am not going to worry about an attack roll. The heat-seeking rocket hits. That's not what matters. What matters is and how. I would like you to start by rolling me the trauma die, which for a rocket I believe is a D10. Rocket launchers can do trauma to vehicles. Before you roll this D10, I'm going to make a precedent here, which is if you want to spend your advantage on the trauma die, you can. You do not have to.
That's it. All right.
Do it.
KH, what then for
You're rolling 2d10 KH1.
Thank you. 2d10 KH1.
Okay, neither of those are going to do traumatic damage. So this will only do the normal 3d10 damage that this would deal.
Okay.
The vehicle, the CASRA, sort of tilts at the last second, and you don't hit right in like the engine of it. The battery, the generator.
Sure. Well, and then he says to Reeves in particular, well, it's not ideal, but I figured I was overdue for a stupid decision sooner or later, right? So
Roll me
Reeves
3d10s. Let's see. Yeah.
Reeves just knife booping the gas pedal.
Yeah, the car's like kind of stuttering forward to the beat of the music.
8.
You've dealt 8 damage to this thing. That's good. You will see it shudder. You will see everyone sort of whip around and notice you there. And then I'm going to roll to decide if they've decided that you're the problem rather than who they think is the problem. Before I do this, though, let's do the chase scene roll dice thing. So, Lore, You're rolling the exert strength. You're rolling it with a -2 now, because of how shitty this car is getting. Abe, you are rolling drive. You are rolling it with a -2 now because you're doing it with your knees. Don't worry, they're also not doing great.
That's just a flat -2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To whatever your drive. Yeah. Laura, tell me about it. Sorry. Laura's doing math numbers.
My mouse died.
That's
I was
funny.
I was stuck in mute land. So I got a 9 because with my bonus it would have been +2 -2, so 9.
Great. You've got 3 tires. You've got half a steering mechanism left, and you are getting away. You are off the map. It cannot chase you any longer. You have been lost in the streets of the city. Abe, what was your total?
'Twas 5. After
5. That's higher than the 3 that they rolled. So you have a choice here. You can catch up with it, basically, if you want to be in the same space as it, or in the complication of the maze here, you can go off some side street and try to get away from it.
No, everyone only gets 1 per session. That was my stupid decision. was to rocket the thing. No, we're gonna regroup. We're gonna evade this thing between whatever affected its navigation system and taking a Stinger missile up its bunghole. I think that's a technical term. He's gonna use that. Discretion is the better part of valor here. He's gonna dart off.
As you dart off, you get the CASRA in the rearview mirror. You can see it's smoking a bit from where you've hit it with the missile. It's going to be fine. It's readying itself. All of the rotors are intact. There's one of the doors is hanging off, maybe. You can see the pilot is looking extremely stressed, trying to keep it together. The gunner is bleeding a little bit where his head smashed against the side of the thing. And the doctor is just calmly sitting back, watching as all the cars drive away. A clear look of displeasure on his face. You're gone. It's just a matter of Vale getting out of here. Vale, you are somewhere between a combat and a sex scene. What's going down?
First of all, just clarification. I got
Please.
tased. I'm also just super high. Did
Yeah.
that do any actual physical damage? Like, did I take any actual damage? I just want
It dealt 1 non-lethal damage, so this
Okay,
can't
great.
kill you. It can only knock you out.
Great. Okay. Just checking where I'm at.
She's also now calling like guards, security. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I have no charisma based skills. I have no way to talk my way out of this. I'm just looking to see what I do have. And my dex is unfortunately my dump stat because that's what the dice said. And we decided that's because I just have the fucking shakes all the time because I'm on so many drugs.
Just do what all the cool kids do. Blow your face.
I think honestly I think Vale. Here's the real question. If I glance over at like the display screens or like whatever, can I get any sense of whether this has worked?
Oh yeah, complete information, right? So like looking at the screens, you can see that you have fucked it up. That's how she saw that you fucked it up. You can see that you can monitor that like the car that they're chasing is off their radar now.
Great.
All of that.
No, that's like that's important information to determine.
Yeah, also the little indicator light has been hit by a Stinger missile is blinking. That's unusual.
Yeah, I clock that and I just go, huh, okay. Internally, at least. I think I'm just, like, look, I'm just gonna turn. I'm gonna, like, I don't know, like, hands on the side of her face as much as I can and just be like, I know you're not gonna understand this right now, but I need you to realize that in the long run, you're gonna thank me for this. I need to go. Are you gonna make this hard? Or are you gonna help me unlock these doors?
She will. Okay, it's gotta be a charisma talk.
No, I know it. I
It's
know it
gotta be.
does. I know it
I can't
does.
make it not.
No, I was trying to come up with an argument in my head for how I use my administration skill
You're
to
gonna program her mind.
to
Yeah.
talk talk business to her in a way that works, and I know that just doesn't work. So okay, 2d6.
Is that gonna be a 12 or a 2?
No, I'm just checking. My charisma's a flat, and my talk is a negative. So that's a. There's the low roll. It's a 3.
Yeah. For a second, she is going to like lean in, like, "Are we kissing again? What's happening here?" Then she's gonna shoot you again.
Great.
Let me do that first, and we'll set the scene here. Understandably, she's shaken enough that this time, even though you're point blank, she'll miss. It'll kind of go off somewhere. You've got doors that lead back into the like main hallway of the hospital where boots are coming from. You've got the vent up over yonder that you came in through, and the ceiling hasn't actually closed. Like, it was closing a bit. That stopped when you started fucking with the system. So there's still like 6 feet of clearance between the two things, the two valves that close in and make the ceiling flaps.
Like, genuine, just how are you gonna rule this question? Can I use my I have strength. I have like a base level of strength. My dexterity is not good.
Yeah.
Would it be better for me to try to climb up and go out the roof, or would it be better for me to try to get into the air vents based on that? Like what would my determination be? My impulse is that if I can honestly, just shove her away, climb up the equipment, and get out the roof, that seems to make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I am not going to make you actually roll for it. The pressure on this is just she's going to shoot you one more time.
That's
you
fine.
can climb up equipment. You can get out the roof. You can avoid the gas that way.
No, great. I think that's the move then, because I know that if I go back into the vents, I'm risking whatever gas is still evaporating. So I think I'm just going to look at her. She has shot me again. I'm just going to look at her. We're just going to keep playing the confusion line, and I'm just going to be like, someday we'll meet again, and this will all feel different. Goodbye. And just I don't know, boop her on the nose, just scramble like a critter, and I'm gonna climb up whatever equipment I have to try to get onto the roof. If I have to jump off the roof, I will do it. Whatever.
Yeah, as you run, she will take and successfully make and take one more shot against you. You will take 5 more non-lethal damage. And as you scramble through, you'll hear the clattering of her gun dropping, and she'll almost whisper rather than say, "I don't even know your name."
Great. I'm double checking my math to see if I have actually hit my unconscious level, because I think I might have. 1, 8, 5. She hits me with that last one, and I hit the ground. My hit points are 13. I am unconscious. I don't make it out.
When did I deal you the other? No, sorry. You've been, I think, just dealt 1 and 5. She's only hit you twice.
She only hit me twice?
Yeah,
I thought she hit me 3. I thought she hit me all 3.
The 8 was an attack roll that missed.
Okay, great. Then I'm fucked up, but I'm fine. I'm fucked up for so many
I would love for you to be unconscious on the roof of this hospital, but I cannot.
Okay,
in good
no,
conscience.
no, that's fine. Okay, okay. Then I'm at about half.
All right.
I'm on extreme cocaine, and I am on the roof of the hospital.
Yeah. You have scrambled up. You can see that the intensity of the people around are not up but down. So you can cool it for a second and then scramble down the side. I'm not going to make you roll to jump off a rooftop. You are able to get down relatively safely, and this chase is over for now, as each of you has made your way into various different places. I want to start with Abe, and then Vale, and then go land on Glitch and Eve. Abe, you've given them the slip. What's up?
Did I manage to clock whereabouts Lorelei was steering the drive-on vehicle?
I would say yeah. You had an eye on her. She's away, but not super far away.
Okay. So I'm going to trust that GlitchAngle and the doc are big kids who can take care of themselves in the interim. Famous last words. And I'm just going to try and catch up with Lorelai so I can get my bearings on what all the fuck happened and why did I just waste $5,000 to shoot at a multi-helicopter.
To be clear, I think you still have the rocket launcher. Um, I don't know if they charge you for individual rockets as well. I'll find out that later. Um, but that being said, you catch up with Lore in part because Lore, your car is essentially non-functional once you've gotten out of the way. Um, Paint me a picture, Lore, of like what, like side of the road? Like how are you safely removing yourself from this vehicle?
I I think at one point the vehicle is starting to sputter. She does not have the control. And it probably hits a wall and she gets like jostled. And then like has to kick a door out to actually get out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And her hair is a mess. She is disheveled. She has a gas mask and a wig in one hand as she stumbles out of this fucking car.
You get a call as you're stepping out of the car.
Oh, great. Hello?
Hey, Kyle here. You done?
Yeah.
And the car will just sort of like having as drive on retakes control of the car, it will just slowly kind of like sputter away into the night on three tires, scraping sparks coming off the back well as it just slowly makes its way back towards drive on HQ.
What do I owe you?
I don't know. Can you kill a guy for me?
Can I kill a guy for you? I have people for that.
Great. We'll talk. And he'll hang up. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, good night.
Night. And that's the scene that you roll into, Abe, as you roll in.
All right. Well, as Abe sees what all's going on and Lorelai just sitting beside the side of the road, right? He parks up. He moves Ackroyd off of where he is in the wheel well, right? And then he goes out to the actual like the side door of the Winnebago, and he opens it, and he goes, "Hey there, sweet cheeks. You headed my way?"
Oh my god. It would
The
seem so, wouldn't it? And she like starts to get out. I think even though like Laura didn't actually like physically get hurt, I think she's like sore because she did hit the floor of a fucking hospital.
Oh, sure, you
And
will have taken some like trivial amount of damage for like the crash at the end of that, but
sure,
it
yeah.
doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. What a fucking night. And she like slowly gets up and like limps over to the Winnebago.
all right. Well, sheepdog's got to go ahead and collect the herd. So, how's about you? Let me know where the other two had landed, roughly. We'll swoop them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think we
Mhm.
have a trash
Where's
panda to pick up, whom I
yeah,
hope
what
is making an extended stay at the hospital.
oh.
Yeah, they called me, and then I came to pick them up. They were nowhere to be found. And hey, I have a rocket launcher. It's pretty cool. They don't give you these in the army.
Cool. I also might have a job for you soon. Um
Okay, well,
don't
whatever it is, I hope I don't have to kill anyone.
Boom. Meanwhile, I'm actually doing this in a different order. Glitch and Eve, you are in a apartment, derelict, I would say, but not necessarily abandoned. There's no people in there. There's no sounds. but it's clear that sometimes there are food wrappers, crask chips, what have you, kind of scattered around in corners, which sort of give the lie to the lack of furniture or amenities in this apartment, all of the windows of which you've just broken.
Ooh, okay. Eve's gonna go run around and try to find Glitch because I heard the yelp of pain.
Yeah, Glitch is currently still laying on the ground. The very like adrenaline crash is hitting, and also she's bleeding from all over.
Ooh, okay, that is not good. Uh,
She kind of rolled, like, try to elbow herself up to her feet.
ooh, yeah. Eve will help and support. And this isn't sanitary, so we should go. We should go. We should go now.
Yes, getting out of here seems like a very good idea.
Yeah.
Let's... Door? And she'll
Unless you want to jump down the building.
Nope. That hurt enough the first time. She'll pull a piece of glass out and throw it onto the ground.
Is there anything, like a discarded sweatshirt or something in this
Do you want to?
space?
Yeah, you want to give me like a quick notice roll to poke
Sure.
around the room? Both of you can
Sure.
if you want to look for it.
Sure.
Is
I've got
that
a flat
wisdom
notice.
notice?
Yeah, wisdom notice. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Both of those are flat for me, so... a 9.
What is it? Okay, real 1 and then 0, so it's a +1. 10.
Yeah, those are both pretty good. So you find, yeah, there's like an old, ratty, discarded sweatshirt, kind of stuffed in the corner of the room. As you like shake it out a bit, a whole ass like advanced knife falls out of it that had been wrapped up in it.
Pick
Oh.
that up, stick it into my sheath for the one that I lost getting into the building.
Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and take that used to be bright white, now has blood on it, coat off and put that on.
Sure. I'll shuck off the lab coat and put on the oversized sweatshirt, pulling up the hood to cover my face.
Good.
Eve,
I will-
they're looking for me.
I know. They're not right now. And right now,
They will
we
be.
need to get out of here.
Okay. Yep.
We don't have answers and we can't get answers right now.
Right. Yeah. Door, street, out.
Yes. I'm gonna take the lab coat with me. I'm not leaving it here, stuffing it in one of the many bags that I'm carrying.
Look,
for
as
some
long
reason
as
now.
I have the fucking briefcase, that's all I care about right now. And I'm sure
Very
the
good.
medicine, which they care about.
The briefcase is designed to withstand a lot. It's in a high security device. So, yes, you are good. One further weirdness, which is that for this abandoned place, the door is locked from the inside. You are on the inside, so you can unlock it and get out fairly easily.
Are we sure this place is abandoned?
That gives me pause.
Someone lives here. Let's leave this door locked from the inside. Twist the thing back around. Maybe they'll never even know that we were here, except for the
Aside
broken
from
windows.
the smashed windows.
Well, it could just be a fucking rock kicked up from the highway. I don't know.
Let's go. As weird as this is, we need to go.
You leave. You make your way out as you descend onto the street far below. A familiar ride shows up with two familiar faces in it.
Hello.
Where's Vale?
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah. Don't worry. I think if we double back to the hotel,
I do worry quite a
or
lot.
hotel, hospital. Yes, yes, you all do. Um, and I do too. That's why I'm here. Uh,
Yes. Thanks.
Hospital post haste. Hopefully, they've made themselves scarce by now. What all went? You know what?
Nope.
Debrief
Story
later.
for later.
Story for
I
later.
will shoot Vale a message saying we're all back together. Do you want us to get you?
You get back a set of coordinates.
I will give those coordinates to Abe.
If anybody knows how to read coordinates, you will recognize that those coordinates are for downtown.
All right.
Nice. Vale, how you getting downtown?
Vale's not worried about getting downtown right now.
Yo.
Vale's gonna slink into some bushes. Is it reasonable to say that I have my scrap deck with me?
Oh yeah.
Great. I'm gonna ask if I could do something that is wildly outside the rules, but I'm willing to like pay for it. Can I expend some system strain to do another use of changing a programming item
Mm-hmm.
so that I can, because I will have to change one of my items for this. I want to be able to reactivate lock because I want to lock data file. I want to slink into some bushes somewhere. I want to plug in the USB that has all GlitchAngle's data into my scrap deck, and I want to jack into
Mhm.
it, and I want to lock that data file so that nobody but me can open it.
Oh sure. Yeah, yeah,
Because if
yeah.
I get caught, I want to make sure that anything that's on me, nobody else can access.
Yeah, this is not a precedent setting thing.
Okay.
But I will allow you to, as the hours pass, jury rig a program to lock that program down. By not precedent setting, I mean I don't want to get into like being able to switch
No,
programs a lot, but this is
no, that's what
yeah.
that's why I say like this is a one off. Like I'm willing to take some damage or some system strain or whatever. This is a one off thing of like in this moment, Vale's priority is making sure that if they can't get back to the rest of the group and somebody gets to them first, nobody gets the extra info that they have.
Yeah, it's not even really a matter of changing programs. Now that I think about it, like this is your device. You can set protocols for it, right? So like you
Right.
can lock down that information. You hide in a bush, you can hear sirens going off. Eventually the CASRA returns, settles back down into its dock. The roof closes the rest of the way as you lurk around in the nearby hills. But nothing else harasses you that evening.
I think like honestly, I think Vale hides a little bit just until things settle, and then I think once things have settled, Vale pulls out a pager, pulls out their page or whatever, and messages a different number, and just says, uh, I think it's just, "Hey mom, can I get a ride?" And a set of coordinates that is walkable distance in like the next 2 hours, maybe even the next 4 hours. I think Vale's not expecting their mom to see this until they wake up. But
Yeah, yeah.
the family home is in Wokeland, or no, sorry, the
The
family home is in Deep East.
Deep East,
So,
yeah.
so if mom can send me a drive on to meet me at a set of coordinates that I probably know that is probably further away from the hospital. I don't want to be picked up too close to this. Keep to the shadows, but try to just be like somebody who's a little too drunk stumbling their way home. Just
There
start
is
moving.
plenty of that in the hills. That is ubiquitous in almost all the districts of the city, except perhaps in Treasure Island Arcology. Who knows what goes on there? But in this moment, you are able to lay low for the rest of the evening. In the morning, your mom will say yes and will also say, "When are you going to return those casserole dishes anyway?"
Yeah, sorry. I'll bring him back on Sunday.
Um, and after some ping ponging around, you will all meet up again later that next day. Several of you are injured, uh, but you are all alive and you've gained some things. I want to just real quickly know what that scene looks like as everyone rolls in together. I assume eventually back to the hideout after some rope-a-dope with finding each other.
Yeah, I think Eve has got their setup on the kitchen counter of all of their medical supplies and a bar stool right there and is waiting for people to come in.
Glitch has hit the showers before letting Eve do whatever they're doing for stitching things up, under the guise of I need to clean out all of these wounds. Really just doing that disassociated in the shower that we sometimes do of what the fuck just happened.
You keep finding more glass in you. It doesn't
Ow.
help.
I give up eventually pulling the glass out of myself because I figure Eve will find the rest of it and just kind of like lean against the shower wall staring at the ceiling.
Yeah,
Just like,
absolutely.
what the shit is happening? How am I connected to it all? What the fuck?
Let's say Laura rolls in next.
I mean, Laura lives here, so
Sure. Rolls
Uh,
out of her small compartment room. Yeah.
yeah, I think she showered the night before, kind of thing. Just feeling like needing to get whatever fog stuff that had been on her skin kind of off. Feeling kind of disgusting, and I think she comes out of her room and just sits on the sofa after writing some information down on the board about what she heard in the hospital.
Guess I can put the board back up. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess at this point, Abe, who also lives in the
Mhm.
hideaway, emerges from his room, goes to get a cup of coffee from the little drip machine that we have in the kitchen, takes a big swig, and says, "Well, shit, there's never a dull moment with you lot, is there, ladies and gentlethems?"
Unfortunately, not.
I just imagine everyone staring back at you dead-eyed as you say that.
I don't think we're ever gonna leave you behind on a mission again if we can help it.
That's up to you. We all know what I'm good at. We all know what I can and cannot do. Uh,
Think
I
we all
am
did some things that we were not cut out for this time around.
okay. Well, I'm sure I'll hear more about it once the gang is all here. But I mean, I've got nothing else to do. Well, he says knowing that he has something very important else to do. But
Uh, Vale rolling in last, I presume.
Yeah, Vale will roll in significantly last. Super bloodshot eyes, very like red rubbed nose. Looks a lot worse for the wear in general. Rolls in like cargo pants, black hoodie pulled up, just like rolls in like nothing has happened, walks immediately up to the vending machine, punches in some random numbers, packet of like chips or something, drops down, grabs it, immediately goes like scrunches up in a corner, rips open the chips and starts eating. Says nothing to anybody.
Eve will slide some eye drops and other paraphernalia Vale's way.
Glitch will come out from the shower at that point wearing a tank top and loose trousers. Looking very much worse for wear.
Sit,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'll just start pulling glass.
There's still
Did
quite a lot to
anybody
be
get
pulled, I
shot?
think. I don't think any of
Well,
us got shot, per se.
Okay, well that's something.
Not this time.
if you don't mind my saying, boss, he directs toward Glitch, who, for whatever reason, he considers the leader of the group. I don't know why.
High charisma. It happens.
That happens. If I didn't know any better, you look like you've seen a ghost.
I might have done. Still not sure what all's on that data file that you pulled from me, but they were looking for me. We made a mistake going to the hills.
Was it a mistake or was it just a calculated risk? We couldn't have gotten this data anywhere else. At least not as easily.
Laura?
I heard some stuff while I was in there after you guys got out. They called you a beta. That you wouldn't get away again. Which is why I did what I did with the car.
What does that even mean? I was in one spot for over 20 years. I wasn't hard to find.
But you were where they knew you were, and they could come in and do what they wanted.
But they hadn't since I was about 6.
Are you sure?
No.
And you trust your memories?
But also, maybe there were things that they were doing while you were sleeping, like brain studies and shit like that. Sorry.
No,
I know this isn't.
You're probably right. I'm not.
Also, the surgeon dude knows your fucking doctor friend.
What do you
Named
mean?
them specifically.
Dr. Wynn?
Yeah.
Shit, fuck.
You mean head surgeon who doesn't know how to dress but is totally convinced that he does?
Yes.
Knows Dr.
Did
Wynn
I-
of Acostaden.
Did I catch his name on his name tag while I was in there?
Oh, you had
Come on,
enough
she
time
gave up
to
so
have
much.
glanced back. You had enough time to glance back. Yes, as you think back to the scene. I should force you to take Madeline, but I'm not going to.
I've got enough for 4 of the 5 of us.
The name on his tag was Dr. Marcus T. Spine.
Don't like it, but thanks.
When she says that, does that name mean anything to me?
Not a single thing.
Does that name mean anything to me?
Roll.
As
Roll
somebody
a-
previously in the R&D world.
Yeah, you're rolling an intelligence and no roll.
Shit. That's not very good. Okay, intelligence, and what is my no? My no is 0, so it's a flat roll. Because my
Alright.
intelligence is also +0. And I'm gonna roll a thing. Seven.
The name rings a very faint bell. It's hard to forget the name Spine when you've heard it. You've got the vague impression of working as the head of surgery at the Hills is sort of a cushy retirement job. Occasionally you get people with real injuries there, but most of the time it's just elective surgery. Someone who was more significant in the past, perhaps, but either got sidelined out there or chose to take an easier task in his latter years.
The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it. He was doing something before, but I don't know what it was. You don't go to the hills unless they send you there or you retire.
Does that go for their fucking security system and drone operators too? Because they've got a whole fucking helipad in there.
That makes sense, though. The hills are more accessible by air than they would be by car.
Yeah, I'm just not used to the hills being super into, like, I don't know, shooting people.
You'd be
True.
surprised.
Yeah, they're just usually more subtle about it than a fucking quadrone.
Depends. Depends on how much you've pissed them off.
So they do make examples of you.
The thing that worries me as well.
Oh, just the one.
The major thing that worries me is they were shooting at a car that they knew that this beta was in. I don't know if they needed you alive.
Well, sucks to suck, I guess, because I did survive.
Correct.
Hey, Glitch.
Vale?
Back when we first met, I jacked into your stream.
You did.
How you feel about me jacking into you? You can say no, I get that's like a weird fucking ask. We barely know each other. I haven't even taken you out for dinner or anything. So, like, I get it. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna come over and sit next to Vale. Buy me dinner later. And pull hair up away from the jack in the back of my neck.
Vale's gonna pull out their scrap deck and kind of like balance it on their knees. Take the cord that runs to Glitch's jack. Take the cord that runs to their jack. And then pull out the USB with all the data. And kind of like look at the ports on the scrap deck and go, we don't have to do this all now, but if we want to just make it weird, we can make it weird.
This is all weird. Make it weirder.
For the record, I hate this.
Oh, it's
I'm
terrible.
not excited about it, no.
It's fucking terrible and I hate this. But everything begins and ends with me right now. And I really hate not knowing stuff. And Eve, you and I need to talk later about a thing that I need to do to recover memories. But right now, Vale, do what you need to.
Great, cool. Everybody, there's like a broccoli cheddar casserole in the fridge. You can just heat that up whenever you want. It's enough for, like, everybody. Mom says hi. Plug in, plug in, plug in, drop in.
And you are in a world of data. I'm not going to do the cliffhanger before this. I'll tell you the thing and then I'll do the cliffhanger. You are in a world of data. You are in a world constructed of Glitch's medical data, the result of these scans that you took. And on the surface level, you can see that Glitch is extremely healthy. Would have been less healthy after all the cuts, but even with that, Glitch seems to be functionally immune to a lot of standard diseases. Heals quickly. And the reason why becomes apparent as you delve a little deeper into what you are seeing here, which is that flowing through Glitch's bloodstream, integrated with all of her organs and cells, every part of her body supported and reinforced by nanobots. There is an electrical current to them. They are not quite dormant, but in a sense like seeds awaiting the sunlight, not yet blossomed to their full potential. They are not a parasite. They are living with you and you are living with them. They are symbiotic.
I think Vale scratches just the barest surface of this. And I think we'll activate the proper eject protocols on Glitch's jack first and then my jack, leaving the data scan in. As we kind of like pop back up, Vale will look at Glitch and just say, I have some news, and I'm not going to qualify it as good or bad because I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but I know you're going to feel some feels about it. I'm bad at people. How do you want to know?
Just tell me.
You're full of nanobots. They're keeping you healthy. They're not you. but they're in you. They're everywhere. I'm gonna have to look more to figure out if I can figure out anything. This is a weird world, right? Like I know computers, I know technology. I'm not good at the biology shit. That's and points to Eve. Like doesn't even have the words. So I don't know. This is like this is different from my realm. I can know some things. I'm not gonna know everything. I can keep looking. I'll look at your files unless you don't want me to look at your files. But you got buddies. And I don't know if they're good or bad. And I don't know if other people can see them or not.
The ants go marching 2 by 2. They're gonna build a better you.
Fuck.
And that's where we're going to end the episode.
Ooh, buddy.
And that is how we do a mid-season finale, friends.
Watch everyone recover for several seconds.
Just, breath.
Ooh, God. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for Midnight in the Garden of Chrome and Fog. We aren't going to be back until the beginning of July. So, set your calendars. We'll be back. What is that, July 2nd? I think that's July 2nd.
July 2nd is currently slated, yes.
Amazing. So, come join us to find out more of that. Stars and Stones. Woof.
Would you believe me if I've said we've only scratched the surface?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
There is a reason why I'm like, yeah, no, I've already hit the green light button on the season 2. Sneak peek into the conversations behind the scenes. But, oof. Okay, thank you all so much for being here. We'll be back with Lancer tomorrow to wrap up that one shot that became a 2-shot because no one else is Alondra.
I've got opinions!
I know you do. I know you do. And then Alondra and I will be back hopefully on Friday if the world does not turn upside down for us to play some more Baldur's Gate 3, which is going to be a great deal of fun. And then I'll be off for a week, and then we dive into the Pride Month video game stream. So come and check those out as much as you can or indeed are interested in. Whew, I am catching my breath. That was a lot.
This is why we shouldn't make the person who got most emotionally affected do the outros. It's fine. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back soon.
Keep an eye out for strange pictures of raccoons in crazy fucking outfits.
And maybe some playlists for characters that I'm
Yes.
currently making.
Also keep
Hell
an
yeah.
eye on the YouTube because I'm going to be working on getting the YouTube caught up with all of the streams. The big one is getting session 3 edited together because there was a big glitch dropout that happened in there, so I'm working on that. That's kind of slowing everything down. Also keep an eye out for shorts because there's a lot of really funny shit that happened, and DB's been doing a great job of getting those looking cool for me, which I deeply appreciate. So, join the Discord if y'all want to know what else is going on in the world of the Fae realm. And until we meet again, friends, I hope that your journey back through the mushroom circles, the glitchy mushroom circles at this point, is as calm and as peaceful as it is possible to be. And until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all very soon. We're going to raid out to Jenna's online, tell her I say hi for me. Good night, everyone.